Chapter 274. Zhang Zhong did not care about the Wang family. How dare they not come to visit Xiao? Or during the New Year? Did the Wang family have too many rules? Or did they not know the rules? There is no need for the Wang family. Xiao is still wearing gold and jade. When we return to Zhuangzi, no one can compare to us. Don't support me. I am not drunk. I understand. They want to suppress me. Bah. Suppress me? I have a son, a good son. No one can suppress me. Drink the wine that was just sent here. Ernie could not tell if Master Zhang was sober or drunk. If he was sober, no one could understand what he said. If he was drunk, Master Zhang knew why he was like this. If he did not respect the Wang family, he never looked at any other woman. If he respected them, he never paid attention to the Wang family. Hearing that Master Zhang wanted the wine that was brought from home, Ernie trembled. Master, we can't drink that wine. It is for you to wipe your body and massage your body. That wine can kill people. Yes, it is not for drinking. Baolang said in his letter that we can't drink it. If we drink it, Xiao or Baolang and Kuku will be worried. Then I won't drink it. Let others drink it. Everyone try it. Go. Zhang Zhong leaned on Ernie and sat back on the chair. Ernie felt that Master Zhang did not drink too much. People who drank too much would not have the mind to harm others. He quickly found a waiter and asked him to bring the wine. It was the distilled wine that Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan made. It was used to soak in things to nourish the body. It could also be used for massage. Because the technique was not good enough, it was only about 50%. The waiter ran down and brought back a jar of wine. When he passed it to Ernie, he trembled. It seemed that he knew what was wrong with the wine. When he drank it, it was like a knife cutting into his mouth. Ernie held the jar of wine and felt the same as holding a bunch of fireworks. He could not think of whether this thing was for humans to drink. Mr. Zhang drank too much and didn't know this. He pointed to the wine stall and said, pour it for the lords. I won't drink today. I'll leave the good fortune to the lords. Ernie obeyed and began to pour the wine into other people's bowls. Then he looked at his master's confused eyes. Even if he was beaten to death, he would not believe that his master had drunk too much. The other officials did not know and really thought that it was something good. Their eyes were fixed on the wine jug and did not move away. Only County Magistrate Cheng had a complicated expression. When he heard that the wine was sent by Zhang Zhuangzi, and then thought about what Ernie had said just now, he secretly stuffed the two handkerchiefs into his sleeves. He was secretly glad that his clothes today were looser. Bowls of wine were poured, and the smell of alcohol rose. Everyone immediately asked about the smell of the wine, or rather, the smell of alcohol. They couldn't help but praise. Father Zhang picked up the bowl of rice wine in front of him and said, Sirs, Yongqing can't hold his liquor, so I'll drink first. While speaking, Father Zhang raised his head and drank the rice wine in the bowl. When he turned the bowl upside down, there was not a single drop of wine. Good, Brother Yongqing is really generous. I'll drink with you. County Magistrate Cheng helped to support him. He picked up the bowl of wine, covered it with his sleeve, and poured it into his mouth. When there was only a little bit left, he licked it with his tongue. Hiss. Good wine. After praising, County Magistrate Cheng rubbed his tongue on his teeth. That little bit of wine just now made his tongue numb. He had never drunk such strong wine before. It was not stored in a cellar, nor was it blended. It was not a good wine, but it was distilled in such a way. He could imagine how it would taste. Other than spiciness, he couldn't taste anything else. Even if it was about the same as Maotai with 52% alcohol, he definitely couldn't taste the flavor of the sauce. How could other people know the Zhang family's manner as well as County Magistrate Cheng did? The wine that was sent to them was not to be drunk like this. And it was definitely not to be drunk like this. The Zhang family's manner was a cut above the rest. And even Zhang Zhong did not drink it. He was not a fool and naturally praised it as much as he could. Anyway, when others smelled the wine, they would not know that he had poured it into his sleeve. Hearing Registrar Cheng's praises, everyone was excited. The taste of this wine was different. They all tilted their heads back and downed it. The wine wasn't warm, and when it entered their mouths, it was cold. It was impossible to drink a bowl of wine while breathing. They had to hold their breath. A bowl of wine that was close to half a liter was downed. It was around 50 degrees. How is it? The wine sent over from home has a taste of home. A bowl of wine with feelings and a bowl of wine. Home is not far away. The pond should be green. My husband, wait for me to take the lead. Let's drink. Today we won't stop until we're drunk. Fill the bowls. I'll accompany you to your heart's content. Father Zhang watched others drink the wine and became poetic. He waved his hand and asked Erniu to pour wine for him. Master, except for County Magistrate Cheng, everyone else has had enough. Master, don't worry. When I ordered the waiter to bring the wine, I arranged for it to be sent home safely. Master, we're much more relaxed today. You don't have to vomit when you go back. Erniu watched the adults slip to the table one by one, and said happily to Zhang Zhong. County Magistrate Cheng quickly said, Erniu, I've always been good to you. Why didn't you have enough fun? Why don't you help your master back? After talking to Erniu, County Magistrate Cheng said to Father Zhang, Brother Yongcheng, good wine. Everyone has a good time today. You go back first. I'll watch over here. Zhang Zhong laughed, put his hand on Erniu's neck, and staggered away. Many waiters rushed in from outside, ready to help the officials up and send them home. At least, they wanted to hand them over to the servants. Take it away. Take the rest of the wine away. Don't put it in front of me. County Magistrate Cheng looked at the situation and waved his hand to ask the waiters to take away the wine that had not been poured. He admired Zhang Jiazhuangzi from the bottom of his heart. He said that they could not drink, so he really could not drink. Why didn't he pour it all away? While waiting for the waiter to take the jar away and hand the officials over to the servants who had come with them, County Magistrate Cheng sat there alone. Looking at the dishes on the table, he began to eat again. After drinking 2 mouthfuls of wine, he felt that it was a little bland, so he took the bowl from before and dripped a drop into his mouth. What kind of wine is this? Why is it so strong? It must be useful. Otherwise, Zhang Jiazhuangzi would never make it. Well, the day before yesterday, a person from Tubo came to the post house and refused to leave. He kept saying that he wanted to see the emperor. Let him try it. County Magistrate Cheng sat there and muttered to himself. He felt that he could save some money by using this wine instead of other wines. He would feel better after drinking a little, so he shouted to the waiters at the door. Bring back the remaining wine. I need it. It's still too bland. Why can't it be steamed? Zhang Xiaobao was also drinking. There was a cup of wine between him and Wang Wan, which was made by them. This had been the 12th time, but they were still not satisfied with the degree. Zhang Xiaobao was sick and liked to drink strong wine. After a few cups, he no longer felt any pain. The wine he drank was similar to erguotu. It was stronger than erguotu. The so-called erguotu referred to the wine that was distilled twice. The wine that was mixed down was called jiutou. The highest degree of jiutou could reach more than 80 degrees. The jiutou of barley could reach 60 degrees. Zhang Xiaobao drank between 75 and 80 degrees. There was no fragrance at all. It was just distilled from pure grains, which was better than blended wine. After drinking it, his whole stomach felt like it was filled with fire, and the pain in his body could not be felt. Now that he tasted the wine, he felt that it was bland. Wang Wan was the same. She could also drink it. Although her body was not as strong, the taste did not change. Then can't the wine be steeped for 45 days? It has to be steeped for 60 days, right? Wang Wan looked at a bigger jar next to her and said, there were ginseng, wolfberry, and venomous snakes in that jar. They were going to give the wine to their family after they were steeped. Now they felt that the degree of jiutou was low. They were afraid that the snake was not dead. Zhang Xiaobao was not sure. He knew that someone had bought fake wine, and the degree of jiutou was not high enough. He felt that the days were almost up and drank from the bottle. As a result, the snake bit his tongue, and he did not have time to go to the hospital to get the serum. After thinking for a while, he said, then don't give the wine to your family first. Get more jars, bury them, and wait until next winter. Then try to distill it a few more times. If it is successful, we can use it to drive away mosquitoes in summer. That's the only way. Do you think your father will drink the wine we send to him? Such a strong wine will hurt people. Wang Wan did not have a better idea. Let it be for 1 year. Thinking of the several jars of wine that she sent a few days ago, she asked. Don't be afraid. Only a fool will drink that wine directly. Just smell it, and you will know how strong it is. My father is not a fool. Zhang Xiaobao was not worried that his father would drink the wine empty-handed, after knowing how to use it. He did not know that there were indeed many fools, who drank half a jin of the wine in one go. As Zhang Xiaobao said, he thought of the old man again. Write something else. It will be useful when the time comes. I can't remember it. You don't have to. I will forget it. Just take a look. Write as much as you can remember. You are still going to give it to Grandpa Bai? Wang Wan said. Not now. I will keep it. When the time comes, I will exchange it with others. Go to bed early. We have to start working tomorrow. The wheat rice stone that Ernia brought back has to be moved to the new field. Don't let them find out that it was this stone that caused the wine. Zhang Xiaobao was very busy today. It was not time to rest yet, so he decided to lie down. If he continued, he would not be able to remember anything. Seeing that Wang Wan was also tired, he greeted her and went to lie down on the couch. Wang Wan yawned and said, Well, tomorrow we will say that we are going to build a house for them. Bring some stones and put them down. When the time comes, we will find a chance to scatter them in the field. In fact, we just want them to see it. We don't know what it is for. The next morning, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were waiting for breakfast at the table. Li Sun ran over excitedly and sat beside the table without hesitation. He said to Zhang Xiaobao, There is a good deal. I will count you in. Is your family willing? What kind of deal? Zhang Xiaobao asked curiously. Someone is looking for me. They want to build a dock, build ships and run water, Li Sun said softly. Chapter 275. After Li Sun finished speaking, he winked at Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan both knew how much it would cost to build a shipyard. It was definitely not a small amount. Did Li Sun still have money? How much is it? Zhang Xiaobao asked what was on his mind. In the beginning, it will cost about 70,000 strings of coins. I'll wait for you for 3 months. You just need to take out 20,000 strings of coins. I can still provide another 10,000 strings of coins. We'll build it on the largest river in our state. After a year, there will be dozens of large ships coming down the river from here. The ships will slowly load up with goods and go along the river to Hebei province to sell some. Then, they will directly enter the sea and walk along the coast to Jiangnan East province or Lingnan province. 1 copper coin can be sold for 10 copper coins. What do you think? Won't you make a profit? Li Sun waved the chopsticks in his hand. At this moment, he was the most uncontrollable. His other hand clenched into a fist as he spoke excitedly. Zhang Xiaobao glanced at Wang Wan and nodded to Li Sun to show that he understood. He said a total of 90,000 strings of coins. Wait for me for 3 months. When the time comes, we'll build a shipyard on the river next to the state capital. Dozens of large ships can be built in a year. And they can still travel by sea? Okay, that's great. Let's do it. Count my family in. I'll discuss it with my mother later. The little prince is amazing. What about the others? At this time next year, we can ship a large number of goods over there and make a profit. Then we can buy things over there and make another profit. That way we'll make countless times more money, right? Yes, Xiaobao. You're really smart. You even thought of this. Li Sun did not expect Zhang Xiaobao to speak of the plan so quickly. He was full of admiration. Zhang Xiaobao quickly said modestly, It's nothing. A year is a bit long. If it were me, I would say half a year. It's just in time for autumn. When we get there, they have a lot of grain that can be shipped over. It's very cheap. Our grain is usually planted once a year. The south grows faster, and it's too easy to harvest twice a year. It can alleviate the food shortage in the north. In addition to food, there are also large pearls that can be transported back together. It won't take up much space. Let's open a jewelry workshop and make good jewelry to sell. What do you think? Li Sun's eyes widened as he listened to Zhang Xiaobao's words. He really didn't expect this to happen. He nodded fiercely. Yes, that's what we'll do. I'll get someone to talk to them later. Zhang Xiaobao, you're amazing, you're really amazing. This is nothing. There's still good wood in the south, and some shark fins and so on. We'll bring them all back. We'll build a processing workshop here. When the time comes, we'll sell them at a higher price, right? Zhang Xiaobao continued. Yes, that's right. We must build a workshop. Li Sun was completely immersed in the project. Zhang Xiaobao continued. The workshop can't wait until the time comes. We must build it first. You go and tell them to build a few workshops in the Sanshui area, next to the river between the clouds and the water. When the river is connected, it'll be convenient to transport them. How could I forget? Oh, how about this? I'll build a jewelry workshop. I'll find some people to work on it first. When the materials are shipped over, and the people are done with their training, I'll build a wood processing workshop and a workshop that specializes in making dried fish, so that the dried fish tastes better. We'll build these 3 workshops first. What do you think? When the time comes, we'll be rolling in money. You can wear whatever clothes you want. If you want to eat good food, you can go to different places to eat. If you want to play, you don't have to worry about not having enough money. My mother will definitely agree. You can rest assured and arrange it. Li Sun kept swallowing his saliva, imagining his future. He picked up the bowl of soy milk, raised his head and drank it. He grabbed a steamed bun, stuffed it into his mouth and said, "Okay, I'll go right away. We can't delay. Let them build a workshop first, a big one." While talking, Li Sun ran away before he finished eating the steamed bun. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan didn't send him off this time. They waited until Li Sun disappeared. Wang Wan finally couldn't help but laugh. "Xiaobao, you're so bad. It's not easy for people to get along with Li Sun. Before they get anything, they have to pay first." Humph. They deserve it. They lied to me, and even implicated Li Sun. If I don't teach them a lesson next time, they can say that they'll build planes, ships, docks, and ships together. They can produce more than a dozen ships in a year. Let cherries hatch more ducks and geese. I'd rather believe that someone will use them for transportation, Zhang Xiaobao said disdainfully. Wang Wan held back her laughter. This is the advantage of being with Xiaobao. We don't have to worry about being cheated. The people of Sanshui County are lucky. 3 big workshops. How many people can they hire? When the workshops are built, the spring plowing will be over. People from other counties will also come to work. It's just SOSO. This kind of trick is too low level. Look at me. What's the big deal about building 3 workshops? I'll let them put all the money they used to cheat money in Sanshui County. Do they dare to refuse? Li Sun can eat them up. After 3 months, they won't have a single penny. They can go back to where they came from. I can give them some money for their travel. Zhang Xiaobao was worried about his father. Now that the swindler came, he had a belly full of anger. He had a place to vent it. Li Sun's efficiency in doing things was very high. At noon that day, he had already discussed with those people. They would first build 3 large workshops in Sanshui County and recruit people on the spot. The initial investment would be 13,000 to 14,000 strings of coins. Those people only hesitated for a moment before agreeing. Li Sun took them to enclose the land. When they met people from Zhuangzi, they had to compensate them. All kinds of materials had to be bought from the local area. It was not easy to hire labor now. In the surrounding areas, except for the spring plowing, people were hired to repair the river. Naturally, the price was higher. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were busy burying stones on two Zhuangzi. They had been smashed. The farmers didn't know what the stones were for. Zhang Xiaobao asked the people following him to tell some lies. For example, after burying the stones in the ground, they would lead to a good life and other mysterious things. At night, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, who had been tired all day, were preparing to take a hot bath and sleep. Li Sun came again and said excitedly, "Xiaobao, how's the discussion? Starting tomorrow, our workshops will be built." "Really? That's great. Let's build it." My mother agreed. She said that when the time comes, we can wait for little Luoshue's money to finish the supermarket first. Then we can take out the money. There will be boats coming from the river here. Then, we will have more money. Zhang Xiaobao said something to reassure Li Sun. Then he said, "Is the leather in the south valuable? If they can't be worn, they can be used as bedding and make some decorations." We have a lot of leather in the north. When the boats pass by this time next year, it's better to buy some leather. It's not suitable now. Wait for another 2 months. When those animals eat well and gain weight, the leather on their bodies will be good. It's the season to buy leather. Yes, that's right. We'll buy leather then. Li Sun was thinking about making money. He thought about what Zhang Xiaobao said and quickly agreed. Zhang Xiaobao shook his head and said, "It will be too late by then. Others will also buy it. How about this? We have a supermarket. Let them sign a contract with our supermarket. They will pay 20% of the money as a deposit. We are familiar with this side. Then we can buy it from those hunters. That's the same thing. My family will be in charge of this matter. You just need to let them sign the contract with our supermarket and pay the deposit. It's estimated that it will cost 6 or 7,000 strings of coins. Think about it, a good leather coat will cost a few hundred strings of coins. If they can come up with the money, it will be 10,000 strings of coins. Yes, I'll go back and ask someone to find them right away. We'll sign it tomorrow morning. It's all money." Li Sun slapped his thigh, turned around and ran away. Zhang Xiaobao rubbed his nose and said to Wang Wan, "Don't think about Li Sun anymore. Let's go take a hot bath, sleep, and have a good dream." Wang Wan sighed for those people and followed Zhang Xiaobao into the house. Since Li Sun came back, he couldn't stay still. He asked someone to tell those people to come over tomorrow to discuss things. He tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. He lay on the bed and thought for a while. Then he got up and went to find his teacher, the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man wasn't asleep at this time. He was reading a book in his hand in the study. The sound of Li Sun's footsteps made him turn out of the book. He looked at Li Sun standing in front of him and asked, "Little prince, what's the matter?" "Teacher, it's good news. Did you see that I didn't come back for 2 days? I went to make a lot of money." Li Sun's purpose of finding his teacher was to share the joy in his heart with him. The middle-aged man asked curiously, "Oh, how did the little prince make a lot of money? Is it with Zhangjia Zhuangzi again? That's not bad. Zhangjia Zhuangzi knows how to make money and is not afraid of losing money. Zhangjia Zhuangzi's people are reliable. If they can find the little prince, then it's good for the marquis." "No, they weren't the ones looking for me. I was the one who found them and brought them along to earn money. I can't always take advantage of others. Why can't I think of them when there are benefits?" Li Sun said proudly. "Little prince, can you tell me what it is?" The middle-aged man didn't believe that the little prince had any idea to make money. Li Sun coughed softly and said, "Shipbuilding and docking. After a year there will be dozens of ships. I can then sell the goods here to the south and exchange them for food and other things. I can make a lot of money again by sea." "Going by sea? Building dozens of ships a year? Little prince, is this possible?" The middle-aged man still knew some things. "I also asked. They said there are other ways to build ships. It must be feasible. Now they are building a workshop in Sanshui County and buying leather." Li Sun finally did something and was confident. He didn't allow others to refute him. He repeated Zhang Xiaobao's words to the middle-aged man. After the middle-aged man heard, he sighed and said, "Since the little prince is willing to do it, then let's do it. Bring the Zhang family along." Chapter 276. Li Sun saw that his master was a little nervous before, but now he was not. He asked doubtfully, "Headmaster, can't we do this?" "Yes, as long as you bring the Zhang family, you can do it. Remember, don't leave the Zhang family behind. Whatever the Zhang family says, the little prince will do. Don't worry." The middle-aged man knew that with the participation of the Zhang family, there was no need to worry. It did not matter whether they could make a ship that year. With the ability of the Zhang family, they would not lose out. Li Sun saw that his master supported him, so he said, "Headmaster, I have a good relationship with Xiao Bao of the Zhang family. How can I leave them behind? He helped me in the past, and now I help them. When I have a fief, I will find a way to get Zhang Xiaobao's father to be an official there. I will protect them and make my fief as prosperous as Sanshui County." "Teacher, do you see? The people in Sanshui County are different from before. They are wearing better clothes. In the county town, the people are willing to spend money to buy things. When I went out today, I saw those people digging the river. They even brought their own food. When they were tired, they were peeling eggs when they were resting. They peeled 4 eggs at one time. That's not bad. Li Sun said, his hands moving as if his family was living a good life. The middle-aged man looked at Li Sun and sighed. Little prince, in the future, if you have something like this, you should talk to your superiors. Don't do it yourself. Your status. Alas. Li Sun heard his master's words and was stunned. He squeezed out a smile and said, Headmaster, I know. I can be a free and unfettered marquis. Maybe I can be a free and unfettered prince in the future. I won't fight for it, and I don't dare to. My uncle built a big yard next to the palace for my father and others to live there. As long as he goes up the stairs, he can see everything in the yard. Brothers are so close that they can see each other at any time. How dare I destroy this warmth? Don't you think so, Headmaster? As Li Sun spoke, his smile disappeared, revealing a bitter expression. The middle-aged man stood up, patted Li Sun on the shoulder and said, Little prince has grown up. It's good that you can think like this. Follow Zhangjia Zhuangzi and help the Zhang family and Wang family more in the future. Especially when some people who are not easy to deal with want to bully them. As long as the little prince can do it, I can guarantee that the little prince will live a carefree life. Didn't the little prince bring back a book of nature? Read it carefully. When you have nothing to do, go find Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan and tell them about the things in the book. When the little prince has learned everything, there will naturally be new books for the little prince to read. Hearing his master mention Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, Li Sun became happy again. He no longer regarded them as ignorant children, but as friends of equal status. Sometimes, only Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan dared to talk to him about certain things. The others were afraid of him and stayed far away, or respectfully did not dare to speak to him. He always felt that when he was with Xiaobao and Wang Wan, he was not the one taking care of them. Instead, it was them who treated him like a child. The 2 children had always been steady in their actions and conversations. The master behind them was really amazing. Unfortunately, even if he learned all the skills, he still did not dare to have any ideas about Imperial Uncle. The Xuanwu Gate could not withstand the next time. The ground there seemed to be dyed red with blood. Every time he passed by there, he would feel a cold breeze blowing over. When the middle-aged man saw Li Sun pondering and did not speak, he thought that he had taken things too hard. He advised again, Little prince, in fact, sometimes some positions are not as good as you think. Now the little prince does not have to worry. When you have a fief in the future, just like what the little prince said, move the Zhang family and Wang family there, and give them more benefits. Teacher, I still have to write a few letters. Zhang Xiaobao's father has arrived in the capital. I can't wait until the exam to help him find someone. His family took out a lot of money to mediate. The people who should have given me money actually want me to give them money. They took my money but did not do anything. I will make them regret being born in this world. Li Sun had already accepted his fate. As long as he had more money, he could live a comfortable life. He did not care about other things. He just remembered that he had given away the money sent by the Zhang family. Now it was time to play a role. As he spoke, he turned around and was about to leave, but was stopped by the middle-aged man. Little prince, if you want to write a letter, just write it here. Let me see. Zhang Zhong is actually destined to pass the exam, but the arrangement of the ranking is uncertain. The Zhang family has already paved the way, not just for you, little prince. There are others? Why don't they believe me? Li Sun was a little unhappy. It's not that they don't believe in little prince. It's just that the Zhang family does things properly. This time, Zhang Zhong's ranking is estimated to be in the top 3. Even if he is not the top scorer, he has to be the 3rd best. In the 4 prefectural roads of the capital, and in every restaurant and inn, people read Zhang Zhong's poems. According to the people who came back from there, Cheng Lingxiang and Cheng Anren have already helped find a lot of people. The Zhang family has more than 20 shops in the capital. The most powerful ones are the Savant's Restaurant and the Joy House. Every day, there are officials who go there to eat and drink for free. As long as Zhang Zhong does not make any big mistakes, those officials will not dare to not flatter him. This is the power of the Zhang family. They spend money everywhere just for the exam. In this way, the little prince's side will be much more relaxed. Those people that the little prince found will naturally take advantage of the situation. Some of the money was actually left for the little prince, but the little prince gave it all away. The middle-aged man explained the various relationships to Li Sun. Li Sun liked to listen to this kind of thing the most. He listened attentively and said, "How can I take their money? They have already given me a lot of benefits between the clouds and the water." The Minister of Revenue, Bai Su, said that the Book of Nature is a priceless treasure. Xiao Bao can give such a good thing to me. If I take their family's money to do things, then what am I? I will do it now. Well, even if the little prince does not say these things, they should know that the people of the Zhang family are not bad at all. As long as they show the little prince this favor, they will not harm the little prince. The people there are the real killers. Bai Su is now here. Haha, he can also teach that Zhang Xiaobao in Wangwan. I heard that he was sick when he was in the capital, but he recovered when he came here. Tuqiao village is also a blessed place. Well, it seems that he will also help Zhang Zhong to get that ranking. I will personally go and ask later. At that time, the little prince can talk to him. When the middle-aged man heard Li Sun mention Bai Su, he immediately thought of the ability of the Zhang family. Anyone who came here with some ability would have to help them. Otherwise, they would not be the Zhangjia Zhuangzi, that many people did not dare to make trouble. Li Sun was about to write a letter. Hearing this, he looked up and said, "Ah, Minister Bai will also help." "Oh right. When I sent the nature book, he said that he was at a disadvantage this time. He said that he was cheated by helping others." Haha. Haha. The middle-aged man also laughed. He was happy to see a third-ranked minister being at a disadvantage. This is Zhangjia Zhuangzi's ability. Although he is at a disadvantage, he is still happy. It seems that I have to go and ask now. The little prince is not in a hurry to write. The middle-aged man was about to leave after he finished speaking. Unexpectedly, Li Qing suddenly came from the yard and reported, "Little prince, teacher, Minister Bai sent a message. He said that it was from Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao." "What message? Tell me," the middle-aged man asked curiously. Riding the wind and galloping horses, seeing all the flowers in Chang'an in one day. Li Cheng said the two sentences. "Ah, sure enough. They want Zhang Zhong to enter the highest place." Li Sun understood when he heard the two sentences. Good, what a good riding the wind and galloping horses, seeing all the flowers in Chang'an in one day. The middle-aged man praised and said to Li Sun, "Little prince, you know how to write it, right?" "Got it, I'll write it now." With so many people helping him, it would be incomprehensible if he didn't get into the top 3. "I'll write another letter to Imperial Uncle and my father. This time, the Imperial examinations have been decided. If Zhang Zhong isn't the top scorer, then he'll be the third. Nothing else will do. Oh right, there's also the Wang family." Li Sun reacted. Now he was not worried. With so many people helping, as long as Zhang Zhong was not too bad, there would be no problem. When the middle-aged man heard about the Wang family, he frowned and said, "Little prince, don't write a letter to the Wang family. If they are willing to help, it is their problem. If they are not willing to help, it does not matter. If little prince really writes it, he will offend the Zhang family. The Zhang family does not need the pity of others, especially the Wang family." When Wang Qiaoer came, she did not have any dowry, nor did she have a servant girl accompanying her. Now that the Zhang family has set the trap, how can they accept the Wang family's kindness? The Zhang family wants to use this imperial examination to tell the Wang family that the Zhang family does not need others and is independent. I see. I understand. The Wang family must be regretting it now. Li Sun understood after thinking about it. Not only are they regretting it, but they also have the intention to kill. The news just came back today. When Zhang Zhong disembarked in the capital, the Wang family sent people to pick him up, but they wanted to suppress him. In the end, they sent 12 tails of luxurious carriages representing 12 shops. There were more than 100 people, and the carpet was spread all the way to the carriage. There's also that bamboo pole with the goldfish lantern hanging from it. There's no one more impressive than Zhang Zhong. As soon as he arrived at the pier, There were people surrounding him from all sides to help him change his clothes. Now almost everyone in the capital knows about the incident at the pier. The middle-aged man added. Li Sun opened his eyes wide in surprise. Doesn't that mean that even if Zhang Zhong becomes the top scorer, it won't be troublesome? Okay, then I will write a letter like that. Impressive. The Zhang family actually arranged all this. I really want to meet that expert. Even if he doesn't teach me, it would be good to see him. Chapter 277. At dawn, Xiaohong and some people began to get busy. The farmers had already started to work. The children had to go to school. The rest of the people who had nothing to do were arranged to cook for the people of the river, and so on. In addition to the main family of Zhang Wang and Zhuangzi, the other farmers had things to do. They had to mark the livestock and poultry in their houses, and let Xiaohong take care of them. A group of pigs, chickens, ducks, geese, and so on were led by Xiaohong to the small bridge by about 20 people. These were the farmers. The Zhuangzi of Zhang Wang and Zhang Wang had their own, but there were also some people who were scattered to take care of them. When they arrived at the small bridge, Xiaohong looked around, squatted down, and touched the head of the leading goose. She said, I'll take you to eat something good today. Let's go. It's free. As she spoke, Xiaohong got up and walked upstream along the river. There were now more than 10,000 poultry. There were originally 20,000, but some were killed and sold during the new year. When the spring plowing was over, cherries would continue to get chicks. With such a large team, anyone who knew a thing or two would be able to tell which team they belonged to. The work of widening the river and clearing the mud was still in progress. The extra soil was piled up in the empty space on the riverbank, which was Lil Red's purpose this time. There were some shellfish, shrimps, crabs, and so on in the mud. People couldn't find food in it, but the poultry could. As long as they didn't run around, they could search in the mud at will within a certain range. Sure enough, Little Red brought a huge team over. The poultry that hadn't eaten anything in the morning immediately rushed into the mud. They used their claws to dig at the mud and used their mouths to eat. Occasionally, they even snatched a bite from others. The big geese were a little worse in this respect. Fortunately, there was some growing grass nearby, so they also had something to eat. Nobody knew where Rongrong got its high prestige. Under Xiaohong's arrangement, it could really control the other poultry. Xiaohong gave it something to eat as a reward. The people who came to work had just arrived. Some of the people who lived far away were the first to work. They couldn't go back home, so they could only stay by the river or in the village by the river. Some of them simply set up a small tent and spent the night in it. The people from the Zhang family and the Wang family in Zhuangzi were specially sent to cook. They got up before dawn and came here to prepare the food first. The main family was in charge of the food. During this time of emergency, the main family was also mobilized. The only people who were free were Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. Even the two old masters of the two families also followed the instructions. Those who were working didn't need to be urged by others. As long as they arrived at the place, they would first eat some hot porridge, big steamed vegetable buns, and small salted vegetables. After they were 80% full, they began to work. The division of work method made it impossible for them to be lazy. If they didn't work, others couldn't help them either. The people from Sanshui County looked at the team led by Xiaohong. They knew that the Zhang family and the Wang family were rich and imposing, so there was nothing to be surprised about. However, some people who came from other places didn't know about it. Looking at the poultry walking along the river, the team was very long. From time to time, there would be a few who wanted to leave the team, but they were chased back. Or they were called back by Xiaohong's whistle and the big goose's fluffy voice. They seemed to be more disciplined. This was also a kind of talent of Xiaohong. Others couldn't understand these poultry, but it was very easy for her to deal with them. She came up with a set of methods that could be very good at controlling the poultry. Occasionally, there would be a disobedient one, but it would be chased back by others with a long bamboo pole. Daughter, where are you going to sell these things? How much are they? A person who came from another county saw these poultry and thought that they were going to sell them. They looked good and planned to buy one, so he asked Xiaohong, Brother, I'm not selling them. The farmers are rushing here to eat. If you want to sell them, You can go to the market. It's not expensive. Xiao Hong looked at the person in front of her and said with a smile. She knew that the person had taken a fancy to her furry. His eyes were fixed on furry. Furry couldn't be sold. It could only die of old age. She had thought about it. Even if furry died of old age in the end, she wouldn't eat meat. She would bury it properly. That person really wanted to buy furry. Furry was the biggest among these chickens, ducks, and geese. It looked majestic. If he bought it back, he could use it to guard the house. Seeing that the other party didn't sell it, he was a little regretful and confused. Just as he was about to ask something, Xiao Hong had already walked a distance in front of him. Brother Ma, you have taken a fancy to other people's furry? That goose is very good. It won't sell it no matter how much it costs. Don't count on it. A person from Sanshui County next to the person who didn't buy furry said to him. Which Zhuangzi is it from? Who raises so many of them? The person looked at them enviously. In his eyes, these poultry were not only poultry, but also money. Such a long line, he couldn't see the end of it. No matter what, there were at least 8,000 of them. Who else could it be? In the entire Sanshui County, the only ones who can raise so many ducks and geese are naturally the Zhuangzi of Zhang family and Wang family. Brother Ma, look, those chickens have seen their own family. When the person from Sanshui County talked about the Zhuangzi of Zhang family and Wang family, he straightened his chest and showed a proud expression, as if the two Zhuangzi were also related to him. He pointed to the side with his hand. There, more than 30 chickens gathered around an ant who was cooking and cooed. The person who was cooking looked at the chickens as if they were her own children. She used her hand to push the chickens into the line and said, "Don't come over. Follow Xiao Hong. I will make food for you when we go back at night." The person from another county believed it. At first, he thought that the person who was cooking was from a poor family. He didn't expect that more than 30 chickens belonged to someone else. It seemed that life was not bad. He seemed to be talking to himself. Why isn't this chicken worth 30 or 40 copper coins? Brother Ma, you are wrong. If you want to buy this chicken, no one will sell it for less than 60 copper coins. It is the time for laying eggs. It used to be expensive, but now it is cheap. The century eggs that can be seen everywhere are made by the Zhuangzi of Zhang family and Wang family. When the farm chickens lay eggs, they will make the century eggs for the master. The person from Sanshui County knew a lot. It seemed that he often inquired about the Zhuangzi of Zhang family and Wang family. At this time, it was a good time to share it with others. The person surnamed Ma was fascinated by it. He saw that Brother Fong, who usually liked to talk, was so happy. He also had a posture that made people feel that he was better than others. He smiled and asked, "Brother Fong, what are you so happy about looking at other people's things?" "You don't understand. Zhang family and Wang family's things are good, but as long as they have more things, the people of Sanshui County will also follow suit. Last year, you also bought cheap soy sauce, right?" the person surnamed Fong asked. It was cheap. At first, it was only a little cheaper than usual. Later on, you could buy 2 caddies of soy sauce for 1 copper coin. Don't tell me that the soy sauce is from Zhuangzi? That's right. If it's not from them, then who? In the end, every family in Sanshui County gave it to them for free. There was too much soy sauce. Other than shipping it to other places to sell, each family in Sanshui County gave 5 caddies of soy sauce. In addition to the soy sauce that we bought before, we still haven't finished it this year. We have to draw cattail leaves every 2 days. Otherwise, we can't eat it anymore. When the person surnamed Fong mentioned this, he raised his head. The person surnamed Ma was very envious. He had never heard of a Zhuangzi in a county that would give other people things in the county. Looking at Brother Fong, he didn't seem to be lying. He smacked his lips and said, "That's good. It's a pity that I'm not from Sanshui County." "What are you afraid of? Don't you grow things on your land? You just casually plant something there and leave it there? Otherwise, you wouldn't have so much free time, and you wouldn't have to wait for 20 days to get paid. You might as well stop planting, sell the land, and come to Sanshui County with your family. Look at me. My family doesn't have land, but I earn a lot of money. Not to mention that I get paid every day. My wife earns more than me. It's hard to control her now. In the past, she didn't dare to disobey me. Now even if she says something, I have to think about it. The person surnamed Fang began to persuade the person surnamed Ma to come to Sanshui County. Things were as he said. Those who didn't have land could get paid directly, and those who had land needed to do manual labor. The Yamen of Sanshui County was in charge, and the prefectural middle school also agreed. As long as they were from the prefecture, they could do this. The reason why he persuaded people to come here was because the Yamen posted a notice a few days ago. There was a literate person reading it to others. The general idea was that the more people there were in Sanshui County, the better life there would be. It was said that the people wanted to tell their relatives who had left Sanshui County before to come back. If they had relatives and knew where they were, they would find people who went there and bring them a message. If they didn't have relatives, they would start to think about other people around them. This was the idea that the people of Sanshui County came up with when they gathered together and chatted after dinner. When their lives were better, they seemed to be smarter and knew how to find people from other counties. The person surnamed Fang was working hard. Seeing that Brother Ma was thinking, he quickly said, "Brother Ma, maybe you don't know what my wife does? Let me tell you, she sells crepes at the dock of Little Luoshui. When the weather is hot, she will sell liangpi. She can earn 30 to 40 copper coins a day. If it's a lot, she can earn 60 to 70 copper coins." "Big Brother Fang, you're not lying to me. Is it really that much?" The person surnamed Ma was moved. According to this, wouldn't they be able to earn more than 10 strings of money a year? After saving up for a few years, when his son grew up, he would have to choose a wife again and again. "That's right. Why would I lie to you? Come quickly," the person surnamed Fang said seriously. Chapter 278. More than 10 people were strolling by the river. From time to time, they would stop to look at the mud they dug out and the opposite bank. There were many people coming and going these days, so no one paid attention to them. There was only one bailiff who was responsible for guarding this side, so they didn't care about these people who came to watch the fun. The dozen or so people looked around and saw a flock of chickens, ducks, and geese near Little Red. Because they were on the other side of the river, the dozen or so people quickened their pace and came to the small bridge. They went around the small bridge and chased along the road. "Eat well. Don't make trouble. If you make trouble, I won't give you anything to eat." Xiao Hong called back a goose that wanted to go to other people's fields to look for food. She touched its head and taught it there. There was nothing in the fields now. This goose was not as smart as Furry, so it naturally did not understand what it meant. Anyway, it came back and continued to follow the group. Little Red walked in front, and the people behind tied the pigs into a string. The people who were herding them followed. Poultry digested things quickly. They ate and pooped as they walked, and the things they pooped were eaten by the pigs. In addition to the feces of the poultry, some uneaten grass and things in the mud were also eaten by the pigs. They didn't need to feed the pigs, so it saved a lot of trouble. More than 10 people who came from the other side saw the pigs first. They all looked surprised and looked at each other. They temporarily ignored the pigs and continued to move forward. After walking for an hour, because Xiao Hong's team didn't walk fast, these people finally caught up. They followed the river and hid from the mud and soil that were brought up by the people who were working. They pretended that nothing had happened next to Xiao Hong. They were still looking around like before. But more often than not, their eyes would look at the poultry and Xiao Hong. Xiao Hong also noticed, but she didn't care. There were many people who were curious. It was not the first time that people looked at her like this. There were more than 30,000 animals when they walked back and forth. 10,000 animals were not too many. These people began to whisper as they walked. Their voices were so low that others couldn't hear them, and didn't know what they were talking about. Xiao Hong was not in a hurry. It would take a while for these poultry to be full. There was not much food, and they had to walk a long way to the front. About half an hour later, there was a turn in front of them. Xiao Hong's eyes lit up when she saw that there was a naturally formed pond, which was a water bubble. There were some reeds that had just sprouted. People couldn't go in, but ducks and geese could. That place was really not small. Xiao Hong noted it down. She was going to tell Little Young Master and Little Miss when she went back. This place definitely didn't belong to anyone. She thought that little young master and little miss should have the ability to change this place. Buying land was easy. The Yamen didn't have a county magistrate. As long as the Zhang family said that they wanted to buy a piece of land that belonged to the Yamen, they just had to pay the money. What's more, it was a swamp with reeds. He had to tell them about this when he went back. Now he could let the ducks and geese go in to find something to eat. There was a lot of food in there. Rongrong, take them into play for a while. Remember to wash yourselves. Look, what have you done? The big white goose has turned gray. Xiaohong patted Rongrong's head gently and ordered it. Rongrong had a high IQ. It was sensible at that time. After so many days, it often stayed with Xiaohong, so it became smarter. As soon as Xiaohong finished her words, Rongrong shouted and rushed in first. The other ducks and geese saw that there was a leader, so they also rushed in. The ducks and geese seemed to have the same habit. When they saw water, they wanted to go in to play. Stop. Don't follow us. Lil Red shouted again, scaring the dozen people. They thought Lil Red was talking about them. While they didn't know what to do, Lil Red threw out the retractable pole in her hand and whipped the chicken that was also squeezed in the group of ducks. Go out. Where are you going? Can you swim? Do you want to drown? Go out and eat over there. Can't I control you? Xiaohong drove the chickens out one by one, and there was a cooing sound in her mouth. Only then did some stupid chickens realize that they shouldn't go in the water. The dozen or so people heaved a sigh of relief and looked at each other. One of them, who seemed to be the leader, stood up and approached Little Red. Little Red saw that there were still people working nearby, and there was even a bailiff not far away. She wasn't afraid, and just watched as the person approached. She wanted to know what they were going to say. Are you from Zhongjia Zhuangzi? The person stopped a few steps away from Xiaohong, and asked Xiaohong. Yes, I am from Zhongjia Zhuangzi. What do you want? If you want to buy something, you can go to the market in Zhuangzi. I don't sell here. Xiaohong admitted her identity, thinking that the person wanted to buy Mao Mao like the previous one. The person shook his head. We don't want to buy things, we want to buy people. We want to buy you. If you go back with us, we will give you more money, as long as you help us hatch chickens, ducks and geese. How much do you want? The person stared at Xiaohong, and seemed to be a little excited. Xiaohong stared at him. By me? Can you afford it? Let me go to your place. Where are you from? There were people from all kinds of places here. Some of the countries nearby. As long as they could come, people would come. It was a mess and Xiaohong couldn't distinguish them. The person pointed to the west with his hand. It's in the west. Come back with us by boat. We will let you wear better clothes, eat better food, and find a better man. Now Little Red understood. Listening to the voices of these people, looking at the clothes they were wearing, and saying that the west was definitely Tufan. Little Red was smart. She remembered that these Tufan people had asked her to go over there, and had even talked about hatching chicks. The first thing that came to her mind was that Sangrini, who bought things last time, really brought those chickens back alive. Cherries was in charge of that and brought back many chickens. It seemed that they had grown up and laid a lot of eggs. These people also wanted to raise them and make a lot of money. Humph, not to mention that she didn't know how to hatch chickens. Even if she did, she couldn't go with them. The two sides had just fought and lost in Songcheng. Now they dared to come here to buy people. Xiaohong glared at them and said, I don't care who you are. Go back to where you came from. I won't go with you. Don't talk to me about this. Xiaohong walked to the chickens as she spoke. The people from the inner courtyard who followed her also looked at these people vigilantly. The leader of the Tufan group was stunned. He didn't expect that this woman was so difficult to talk to. However, he didn't give up and walked to Xiaohong again. He kept saying that she should wear the best clothes, eat the best food, find the best man, and so on. Seeing that Lil Red was ignoring him, he stretched out his hand and was about to pull her away. At this moment, the people from the inner court took action. Several people rushed up together and started to punch and kick him. How dare he be so rude to Lil Red? Lil Red was the young master and young lady's person. As soon as they made a move, the 10 or so Tubo people also rushed over. When Little Red saw this, she immediately put the whistle in her mouth and blew it with all her might. The people working there, and the bailiffs also saw this and rushed over with the tools in their hands. Catch her and run quickly. You will get a great merit when you go back. Seeing that things were not going well, the leader decided to fight. There were also people from the Tufan group in front of them. They were riding horses. They planned to catch her and run over before they were surrounded. The chickens, ducks, and geese here were in a mess and could block others. The other people from the Tufan group who were still fighting immediately rushed toward Xiaohong. Xiaohong also turned and ran. When that person was about to catch her, the geese in the pond rushed back. Thousands of geese saw that Xiaohong was being chased away. They lowered their necks, put their heads on the ground, and moved their legs quickly. Lil Red turned and ran into the group of geese. The two men who came to catch Lil Red were surrounded by geese and twisted. If it was only their legs that were twisted, it would not be a big deal. It would just hurt a little. At most, they would be bruised, and they would be fine after some rest. However, these geese had already gone crazy. They did not just focus on their legs. With a flap of their wings, they jumped into the air, kicking with their feet and twisting with their beaks, making it impossible for the two people to resist. The chickens also rushed over and flew back and forth as well. This kind of attack was more powerful than the geese. As long as the sharp beaks bit on the body, it would be a small hole. It was the same when the claws scratched the body. The two people no longer wanted to catch Xiaohong. They used their arms to protect their heads, not letting the beaks and claws touch them. They screamed and wanted to run out of the poultry's encirclement. Not only were the two of them attacked, the Tufan group who was fighting with the inner courtyard also couldn't escape. More than 10,000 poultry surrounded them. Under Rongrong's command, they attacked from all directions. The people from the inner courtyard took the opportunity to retreat. They didn't care about the feathers on their bodies. They stood at the side and watched with lingering fear. It was too scary. This was the first time they saw poultry attacking people. Fortunately, the poultry knew each other. Otherwise, they would also attack them. Not only were the chickens' beaks and claws powerful, when they flapped their wings, it would also leave a red mark on their faces. The bailiffs and the people who were working ran over. They couldn't see anyone at all. There were flying chickens everywhere. The screams of people and the cries of poultry mixed together and reached the bailiffs and the others' ears. They all stood there and sucked in a cold breath. When they looked at Xiaohong again, their gazes were different. Originally, they respected Xiaohong, a member of the inner courtyard of Zhangjia Zhuangzi. Now they were afraid of her. These poultry were only a part of the total. If all the poultry of the two Zhuangzi came, even if each person had a knife, how many people could resist this kind of attack? Chapter 279. The fowls scattered. Everyone craned their necks to look. They could hear a slight humming sound, so they knew that they were not dead yet. Other than the feathers of the three fowls on the ground, there were only some rags on the clothes. More than a dozen people were covered in feathers. Some feathers had been dyed red. It seemed that the feathers were stuck to their bodies by the blood. There was also chicken feces. Everyone looked at each other. The Yamen runner said to Xiaohong, "What happened just now?" "Nothing. They actually wanted me to go to Tuba with them. I said I wouldn't go, so they came to catch me. If I don't let them know how powerful I am, they won't understand that Zhangjia Zhuangzi is not to be trifled with." "Humph," Xiaohong said angrily. Looking at the people lying on the ground, she laughed and said, "I deserve it. I'll nag you to death and let you catch me? I'm also a person with a team." The bailiff was just asking. He didn't care what the reason was. Even if the Zhang family's manor bullied people without a reason, he would accept it. He would even find a reason to help the Zhang family's manor get away with it. If that didn't work, he would lock up the person who was bullied. When the person who was bullied admitted that it was his fault, he would let him out. The Yamen runner called a few people of Sanshui County to check on the condition of the dozen people. There must be a lot of wounds on their bodies. They also thought that they deserved it. They actually dared to catch Xiaohong. They must have eaten a bear's heart and swallowed a leopard's gall. They turned the people over. Someone got a bucket of water and washed them. After the feathers on their bodies were washed away, the people looked at Xiaohong with eyes full of fear. The clothes of the dozen people were all gone. They didn't know how they were broken. The boots on their feet were also twisted off by the goose. 2 people's boots were originally tied with a rope, but the rope was also broken. How many times did it take to do that? When he looked at these people again, he could not find any good spots on their bodies. The people in front were better off. They were lying down with their heads wrapped. Their backs, legs, arms, and the scalp at the back of their heads had been bitten until their flesh was torn apart. Even if we try to save him, we might not be able to save him. It's all over. That chicken beak is poisonous and will eat anything. It's so bad. Xiaohong, you better think of something. Otherwise, this is also considered murder. A person who came from another county to watch the show shook his head and said when he saw these people being nagged to such an extent. He even asked Xiaohong to think of a solution. Xiaohong didn't care at all. They were the ones who started it. Just as she was about to speak, the Yamen runner spoke. It's like this. I saw it with my own eyes. The people from Tubo wanted to capture Xiaohong as a slave. When Xiaohong was escaping, she was pushed down by them. I don't know what happened, but they wanted to capture chickens, ducks, and geese to go back with them. In the end, they were injured by the poultry. This matter has nothing to do with Xiaohong. It's an accident that they died. If they didn't die, the Yamen will convict them. Everyone saw it, right? Isn't that the case? Yes, that's what happened. Xiaohong was almost harmed by them. Now Xiaohong's whole body is still hurting from the fall. That's right. These people from Tubo are really bad. They should be arrested and punished now. We can't let them get away with it. They must have come here with a conspiracy. Send them to the Yamen to be punished. Xiaohong is such a good girl, yet they have the heart to hurt her. They are worse than animals, yet they still dare to capture those poultry. They deserve to be unlucky. We should arrest them and ask for their accomplices to see if they have any injured poultry. If they do, they have to compensate. If the poultry are frightened, it won't be easy for them to lay eggs. The people of Sanshui County started to talk. The people from other counties were stunned. They finally knew what it meant to lie through their teeth. They were also scared when the poultry were frightened. They were the ones who were really frightened. The Yamen runner knew that this would be the result. If the people of Sanshui County didn't protect the Zhang family and the Wang family, who would they protect? Many people were involved in the business of the Zhang family and the Wang family. Now they had a unified understanding of what had happened. Since everyone says so, then it's settled. When the time comes, everyone will have to testify. Come and help me. Wrap them up. There will be blood everywhere. When the weather is hot, there will be more mosquitoes and flies. I will immediately send someone back to call the county deputy and the registrar. We will interrogate them here and see what kind of conspiracy they have. The Yamen runner didn't care about the lives of these people. He just wanted to close the case before they died. The people of Sanshui County all felt that this should be done. Those who wanted to capture Xiaohong shouldn't have a good ending. At this time, Xiaohong said, "It will take a long time for the county deputy to come here. Why don't we go to Zhuangzi of the Li family to interrogate them? Or we can go to Between the Clouds and the Water and ask Grandpa Bai to come here. Okay, let's go now." Some people were willing to do this. They agreed and ran to the bridge. Although it took Xiaohong a long time to walk here with the poultry, it didn't take much effort to run there. When the messenger ran to Between the Clouds and the Water, Zhang Xiaobao, Wang Wan, Li Sun Luer, and Xian Air were learning from the old man. When the old man taught them, he didn't use a book at all. He directly recited to them. If there were words they didn't know, he would write them down separately. When the messenger saw the 6 people in the pavilion, he panted and said, "Xiaohong. Xiaohong of Zhangjie Zhuangzi sent people to look for trouble. They are over there. They are from Tubo. There are more than 10 of them. Xiaohong." What happened to Xiaohong? Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao were still sitting. When they heard that more than 10 people from Tubo were looking for trouble with Xiaohong, they immediately stood up and asked anxiously. Little Red ordered those fowls to attack, and they nearly killed more than a dozen people. I don't think they will live for long. Those people's bodies were bitten rotten. The bailiffs, and we suspect that those Tubo people are up to something. So we asked someone to interrogate them. The informant finally explained the situation clearly. Uncle, are you saying that Xiaohong is fine now? Those people were attacked by poultry. Is something wrong? Zhang Xiaobao asked. The man nodded vigorously. Yes, Little Red is fine. Before those people could even touch her, they were surrounded by poultry. It was so miserable. 10,000 chickens, ducks, and geese were flapping around and fighting. The claws of the chickens left 2 or 3 gashes, and a hole was left in the ground with a single bite. Their flesh was bitten and torn off by the geese. They were covered in blood. Some of them even exposed their bones. I don't think they will live for long. Now, everyone was relieved. It was good that Little Red was fine. Imagining the scene of those domestic animals attacking, a few of them could guess what would happen to those people from Tubo. It was impossible to say that they would be directly bitten, but if they were not careful, it would be very easy for them to bleed to death. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan knew that if they were infected again, there would be no hope. They could not let them all die. They had to live for a few days and ask them properly. Go and get some of our wine. It is better to have pus under the scabs than to die from infection. At most, we can just open the pus. Since we want to catch Xiaohong, we have to be prepared to suffer. Zhang Xiaobao said to Wang Wan. Wang Wan also agreed. If you are willing, we can make a big deal out of this. It is not important if the Tubo people can reveal anything. What is important is what we want to accuse them of. I suspect that they have found out that the little prince is here. They want to catch Xiaohong to get specific information. They want to kill the little prince. Good idea. Let's do that. Let's go and ask first. What if there is really a conspiracy? Li Sun was happy when he heard Wang Wan's words. His identity was very useful. As long as someone came to find trouble, he would be able to get involved. A few days ago, there was a battle over there, and the Tubo people lost. At this time, they could make a big deal out of them. The Tubo people's furs and other things were not bad. The old man was also smiling. As long as they had something on them, they could use it. As for the details, it was not their business. Li Sun called for a car. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan asked people to go back and get some wine. The group of people took the car and went to the other side. The informant also got into the car prepared by Li Sun. He sat there excitedly and did not know what to do. This was Master Ho's car. After today, he would not have the chance to sit in it again. He was waiting to go back and let those people take a good look at him. When the group of people arrived at the place, there were already a few bailiffs there. They were in charge of guarding and were also there to ask. More than a dozen people were injured. It was not good to torture them. They were afraid that they would accidentally kill them. These people from the Tubo people were really stubborn. No matter how they were asked, they did not say anything. They just lay there, panting or gritting their teeth to endure the pain. They did not answer the other people's questions. Zhang Xiaobao got out of the car and did not care about them. He and Wang Wan went directly to Xiaohong's side and asked if Xiaohong was frightened. Xiaohong was not afraid at all. Instead, she was very excited. She commanded the team to take care of more than a dozen people. This was also considered her ability. After asking Xiaohong and seeing that Xiaohong was fine, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were relieved. They went to the side of more than a dozen people and looked at them. Zhang Xiaobao asked, "Tell me, this time you came to Zhuangzi and wanted to catch Xiaohong. What are you plotting? But don't blame us for not being polite. Let me count. Oh, 14 people. As long as one can survive in the end, it will be fine. Come pour wine and help them." The sound of wine splashing rang out. When the wine of more than 50 degrees touched their wounds, the 14 people screamed in pain. Some even fainted. The person in the lead raised his head. His whole body was trembling. He said to Zhang Xiaobao, "You are really vicious. Just kill us. We won't say anything." Chapter 280. From the words of the Tubo people, Li Sun guessed that there must be something going on. The others also thought so. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so tough. It seemed that this time, they really found something to do. After Li Sun finished asking, these Tubo people didn't speak anymore. They looked like they were ready to die. Someone come use torture. I don't believe that I can't pry open their mouths. Li Sun called the people he brought along. Immediately, the people over there used all the methods they knew on these Tubo people. The screams never stopped, but the Tubo people were really tough. No matter how they were asked, they didn't say anything. They fainted again and again, and they were woken up by splashing water on them time and time again. But it didn't work at all. This made the faces of Li Sun and the others become ugly. It wasn't because these people didn't say anything, but because these people were so tough, it meant that they weren't ordinary Tubo people. Zhang Xiaobao looked at them, and at the same time, he was thinking about why these people came here. They definitely didn't come here to catch Xiaohong. They definitely didn't come here just to starve Xiaohong. It wasn't worth it to send these Tubo people. Could it be that they really came here to deal with Li Sun? It was useless. There were so many people in the Li family. Even if they killed or kidnapped Li Sun, would they still be able to get the imperial court to do anything? Moreover, if they came here to deal with Li Sun, they shouldn't have gone to catch Xiaohong. It was stupid to cause trouble. These people didn't seem to be that stupid. Zhang Xiaobao couldn't think of anything at the moment. Seeing that the Tubo people still didn't say anything, he could only say to Xiaohong, "Xiaohong, let your chickens and geese attack them again. I haven't seen so many poultry attacking a person. Don't use them first. Get the pigs here. Pigs eat everything. Tie up these 14 people and stuff their mouths. Let the pigs eat them. Anyway, it's not like they're recruiting, and we can save some food for the pigs. You've grown up, and you don't know how pigs eat humans. Look for something new. Hurry up and find it." Following Zhang Xiaobao's instructions, Li Sun's bodyguards tied these people up and stuffed something into their mouths. They gathered the pieces of meat that fell from their bodies and drove 2 pigs over. They fed the 2 pigs some of the meat first, and the pigs immediately started eating. Little by little, he led them to a tubo and placed the remaining minced meat on the tubo's body. The pigs then started to eat. After eating the minced meat on the tubo's body, the pigs also started to eat the remaining meat on the tubo's wound. That person didn't know if it was because of the pain, the itch, or the fright, but he struggled with all his might and made a whimpering sound. His eyes were wide open and filled with fear. Unfortunately, he was tied up and could only move his head. He shook his head vigorously and even used his head to smash the ground. However, the ground was earth and not concrete, so it was useless even if he smashed it. When pigs eat, they would also pick places with more meat. Right now, they were gnawing on this person's stomach. It seemed that they would be able to eat through it after a few more bites. Take out the thing that's stuffed in this person's mouth. I want to watch the pigs eat while listening to his cries. Zhang Xiaobao felt that it was about time and said to Li Sun's bodyguard. The bodyguard walked over and took out the thing that was stuffed in the person's mouth. As soon as he took it out, that person shouted, "I'll tell you, don't let the pigs eat me. I'll tell you everything. Stop, stop." As soon as he shouted, the pigs were naturally driven away. The pigs seemed to be addicted to eating. They were driven away from this person and walked towards other people. The bodyguard could only chase them back and forth. Every time the 2 pigs turned towards that person would tremble. Someone drag him to the side and ask him if what he said is the same as what the others said. If it's not the same, then feed him to the pigs. Zhang Xiaobao gave another order, and Li Sun's other bodyguard dragged the man away. While being dragged away, the Japanese man thanked Zhang Xiaobao. Why did he confess? Li Sun curiously asked Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao smiled and said, "Using torture and eating people are 2 different feelings. Think about how you feel when you're alive and see your body being eaten by pigs. Then you'll know why he confessed." Li Sun stood there and thought for a moment. He immediately trembled and said, "It's really too scary. And in the future we'll use torture like this. It's much better than other methods." With one of them confessing, the rest of the Tubo people were no longer as stubborn as before. Looking at the pig that wanted to come over to eat, all of them were willing to confess. They were all brought to a place further away for questioning, leaving only the leader behind. Li Sun decided to personally ask this person this time. He asked someone to take out the things in the leader's mouth and asked this person, "Speak, tell me the reason why you came here this time. If this Marquis is in a good mood, then I'll cure you and let you go back. In any case, others have already said it. It doesn't matter if you don't tell me." If you don't, then I'll feed you to the pigs. The Tubo leader was unyielding. He turned his head to the side and said, If you want to eat, then eat. Don't think that you can get a single word out of my mouth. Li Sun was stunned. It worked for others, but it didn't work for him. How could he accept this? He angrily said to the bodyguard, Bring those 2 pigs here. I don't believe that he won't talk. Wait. At this time, Zhang Xiaobao stood up and said, Good man, I like good men. When I grow up, I'll also be a good man. This kind of good man can't be fed to the pigs. He's not afraid at all. After questioning others, let him go. After all, he has relatives at home, and they might be waiting for him to go back. When Zhang Xiaobao said this, he looked at that person. Sure enough, this person had relatives at home. When he heard what he said just now, a trace of sadness flashed in his eyes. At this time, Wang Wan also said, My Xiaobao will definitely be like this uncle in the future. He will be an indomitable man. Uncle, can you tell us your name? If your injuries are too serious and you die, we won't even know the name of a good man. My name is Wang Wan. Uncle, you can call me Cuckoo. The leader turned his head and looked at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. For a moment, he didn't understand what these 2 children wanted to do. Could it be that they really thought that he was a good man? That Xiaobao or something? Just now he was watching the pigs eat people. And now he changed his mind? Cuckoo's little girl was not bad. Uncle must be thirsty and can't speak. Go and get some water for Uncle to drink. Don't use water, use wine. Good men all drink wine. When Wang Wan saw that this person didn't speak, she ordered. Soon, someone brought the wine and directly poured it into the leader's mouth. This Tubo leader also opened his mouth and drank a mouthful. He shouted, Good wine again, it's worth it to be able to drink such wine before I die. The bodyguard began to pour more wine for him. After 5 to 6 mouthfuls, the bodyguard finally stopped and retreated to the side. Come again, little boy, let me have another sip. The leader of the Tubo group shouted from the side. Wang Wan shook her head. Uncle, you can't drink anymore. Uncle has to go back alive. Otherwise, the people at home will be sad. If my father goes out and one day I know that he won't be able to come back, I don't know what to do. Uncle, you will definitely get better and go back home to be with your family. Yes, Cuckoo is right. I am afraid that one day I will lose my family. If my father doesn't come back, my mother and I will definitely be bullied by others. They all have fathers to help them, but I don't. Zhang Xiaobao also said at the side. After the 2 of them finished talking, the Tubo leader finally couldn't take it anymore. He closed his eyes and sighed. Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao looked at each other. Wang Wan asked again, Uncle, we still don't know your name. I heard of a person called Serenade. He seems to be one of Uncle's people. He bought a lot of chicks from my house. Uncle, do you know him? If you know him, when you go back, you can tell him that there are a lot of chicks in my house now. There are geese and ducklings. It's very fun. Ask him to buy them and sell them to him at a low price. Songbu Nakang. The Tubo leader finally said a name. Uncle Songbu Nakang? That's a nice name. When I go back, I will think about it and come up with a name like that. Uncle, is your house far from here? Wang Wan asked again. This time, Songbu Nakang didn't speak. He looked at the sky blankly. Wei Wei opened his mouth and lay there motionlessly. If it wasn't for his rising and falling chest, people would think that he was already dead. Wang Wan looked at Zhang Xiaobao this time. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan immediately sat beside Songbu Nakang. Cuckoo, do you think Uncle Songbu Nakang has children as old as us in his house? If we can go to Uncle Songbu Nakang's house, we can play with him. Zhang Xiaobao sat there and supported his chin with one hand. Who knows? If there is, they should be older than us. Look at Uncle Songbu Na Chung. He's older than our father, so his children are also older than us. It's good to have a big brother and a big sister. If it's a big brother, he'll definitely be a good man like Uncle. As for the big sister, she'll be very beautiful, just as beautiful as Aunt Songbu Na Chung. Wang Wan hugged her knees with both hands and blinked her big eyes. When Songbu Nakang heard the 2 children's words, there was a trace of attachment in his eyes. Zhang Xiaobao saw it from the corner of his eyes and continued, If it's a big brother, he will be very powerful. After all, a big brother has a powerful father, just like my father. When I was young, he carried me and told me stories. Now he is teaching me how to read. I want to remember all these things and think about it when I grow up. Chapter 281. When Song Bunacheng heard what Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan said, the look in his eyes changed again. There were memories, warmth, and a hint of a smile as if he had thought of something funny. Zhang Xiaobao continued, Cuckoo, what do you think Sambu Nashing's children are like? Were they taught to read and write when they were young? I don't think so. Uncle Sambu Nashing is a good man. He should teach the boys how to ride a horse, shoot an arrow, or practice martial arts. If it's a big sister, then I don't know. What can she teach? Uncle Sambu Nashing, are the children in your family male or female? Wang Wan asked Songbu Nashing, who was lying on the ground. Songbu Nashing said, 2 boys. Are they older than Xiaobao and me? Wang Wan asked again. Yes, the older one is 17 years old, and the younger one is 9 years old. Sambu Nashing said the age of his sons under the influence of the alcohol, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. The expression on his face was not as stiff as before. Perhaps it was the effect of the alcohol, but the pain in his body was much less. Zhang Xiaobao said, Uncle Sambu Nashing, you should find a younger sister for the 2 big brothers. I want to have a younger sister. Uncle Sambu Nashing, what did you teach the 2 big brothers? Sambu Nashing said faintly, soon. When we go back, the child will come out. Maybe it's a girl this time. I teach them archery, ride a horse and swim by themselves. There's a river near my house. When I have nothing to do, I take them to the river to catch fish. The fish there are big, dozens of pounds. Ah, that's good. Uncle Sambu Nashing, where is it? There's a river in front of my house, but my father has never taken me to catch fish. When I go back, I'll ask my father to take me and Xiaobao to catch fish. Wang Wan asked curiously and moved closer to Sambu Nashing. Songbu Nashing looked at Wang Wan's innocent smile, and the corners of his mouth curled up. He said, In Larigang, very far from here. Ah, what is Larigang? I've never heard of it. Are the people there like Uncle Sambu Nashing? Are they all good men? Do the people there eat the same food as us? Wang Wan looked at Sanbu Nashing and thought of her, so she continued to ask. It's similar to what you eat, but it's not as good as what you eat. There's always a shortage of food. In summer, you can catch fish to eat, but it's not easy. The water is cold, wet. If you want to go to Larigang, it'll take you more than a month. For ordinary people, it'll take you 3 or 4 months, or even half a year. Sambu Nashing explained to Wang Wan. When he saw Wang Wan's appearance, he thought that when he went back and saw his child, she should be as cute as Wang Wan. Wang Wan picked up a goose feather from the ground and fiddled with it. Her eyes looked to the west. After a while she said, It's so far. I can't go there. When I grow up, I'll definitely go to Uncle's house to see big brother and little sister. I'm older than her. Uncle, drink some more wine. Wang Wan said and asked someone to bring the wine over. She fed Sambu Nashing little by little. After drinking a mouthful of wine, Sambu Nashing sighed. That's good. Our place is humid. If we can drink this wine, it'll be good. If Uncle likes to drink it, my family's Zhuangzi made it. If Uncle likes it, drink more. This wine isn't worth much. Uncle, I heard from my mother that girls have to marry when they grow up. What kind of person will my little sister marry when she grows up? I can only marry Xiaobao. Wang Wan fed Sanbu Nashing another mouthful of wine, and thought about the future. Sanbu Nashing suddenly laughed. Little girl, you're thinking about marriage at such a young age. When the time comes, my daughter will definitely marry a capable person. I'll prepare the best dowry for her. Oh, then my family will also prepare the best dowry for me. Xiaobao's family also has to give me a lot of things. Otherwise, I won't marry. Uncle, drink another mouthful. Wang Wan puffed up her cheeks and said, Yes, I won't marry if they don't give me anything. Haha, cough cough. This wine is really strong. Sambu Nashing squinted his eyes and smiled. You won't marry? I won't marry either. Uncle Sambu Nashing, What kind of wife will my two big brothers find in the future? Zhang Xiaobao also stood up. Sambu Nashing turned his head and looked at Zhang Xiaobao. He smiled and said, Big brother already has a wife. Not bad. Second son still has to wait for a few more years. Wang Wan immediately reached out and turned Sambu Nashing's head back to face her. She poured another mouthful of wine and said, Uncle Sambu Nashing, do you have any special products? You don't have anywhere else. Yes, there are big oranges, sweet ones, and walnuts. The walnuts taste good in the mouth and... Sambu Nashing's eyes were about to close as he spoke. Uncle Sambu Nashing, don't sleep. Tell me how big the oranges are. Uncle, drink another mouthful of wine. Wang Wan fed Sambu Nashing another mouthful of wine and gestured with her hands. Haha, it's not as big as what you're drawing. It's a little smaller. Yes, it's this big. I always eat it when I was young. I even used the skin of the oranges to make water to drink. Sambu Nashing struggled to open his eyes and said, you can make water to drink? Then uncle, why are you here this time? Wang Wan asked casually. We're here to do some damage. There's a disaster here, and the food needs to be transported from the south. We're divided into many small teams. If there's a chance, we'll find a way to make the food here lose some. I have a secret mission, which is to kill Zhangjia Zhuangzi's people. Even if I can't go back, it's worth it. Sambu Nashing yawned and said. After he finished speaking, he suddenly woke up and looked at Wang Wan. Wang Wan smiled sweetly and said, Uncle Sambu Nashing, if you want to kill Xiaobao's people, then you can't go back. You won't be able to see your family again. Those who kill will be killed. Although you didn't have time to do it, we'll take it that you did. You can drink another mouthful of wine. Xiaobao and I have wasted too much time on you. As they spoke, Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao stood up at the same time. Hand in hand, they walked in front of the stunned Li Sun. Zhang Xiaobao said to him, We've found out. His name is Sambu Nashing. He lives in Laragang. He has 2 sons and an unborn child. This time, he's here to do damage and assassinate my family members. I'll leave the rest to you. Li Sun nodded blankly. He shivered and looked at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan with a trace of fear in his eyes. He didn't even care about death. But these two were able to find out the identity of this person. He really thought that these two were doing this for some good man. He didn't expect that as they chatted, they would talk about such an important matter. Looking at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan leaving hand in hand, Li Sun was stunned for a while. Then he said, Good skills. It must be that person who taught him. He's amazing. No, this is such an important matter. I have to report it to the higher-ups. Someone come and report it to the higher-ups. After Li Sun finished shouting, there were already 4 people who were ready. They jumped on their horses and galloped towards the nearest station. The people who were caught here were also questioned. It was the same as what the Tubo leader said. It was just that they didn't know about the assassination. They found a doctor to treat them. They tried their best not to let them die. These people had other uses. At the same time, Sanshui County began to investigate the outsiders. Those who were suspicious were arrested first. If there was nothing wrong, they were released. If there was something wrong, they were kept. Xiaohong continued to release the chickens. The people were working. The number of Yamen runners increased by 5 times to avoid any mistakes. The Zhang family's place couldn't be easily assassinated. Li Sun didn't have anything else to do. He followed the old man back and deliberately entered a carriage. Minister, what do you think of the master behind Zhangjia Zhuangzi? Li Sun entered a carriage to talk about this matter. The old man had also seen how Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had tried to trick him. He was equally shocked, especially when the 2 kids were talking to the leader of the Spitting Tomatoes. They were so innocent, as though they were not scheming at all. In the end, as they asked, the question came up. Other than talent, how else could one nurture them? When he heard Li Sun's question, he said, It's unfathomable. I don't know why such a person would stay in Zhangjia Zhuangzi and teach the 2 children. It's a pity that with his skills, if he were to become an official, wouldn't he be able to benefit more people? Then why is minister willing to teach the 2 children here? Why don't you become an official? Why do you have to retire and return to your hometown? My imperial uncle hasn't agreed yet. Li Sun asked. Hee hee, you brat, you actually used my words to ask me. Not bad, I like these two little kids. They are intelligent and can understand what I teach them. To have such students is something that any teacher would be happy about. The most important thing is that these two little kids know etiquette and filial piety. Every time I eat with them, they will give me some food. As long as I say it's delicious, they will definitely cook it for me next time. When the old man talked about Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, a smile appeared on his face. He seemed to have forgotten that someone was going to make trouble here. Li Ji nodded. That's right. You know how good they are. How could that expert not know? That's why he specially taught them. The other side actually sent people over. It just so happens that we're lacking some food here. If they really succeed, the other side will attack again, and we won't be able to transport food here. It's just a small trick. I didn't hurt them enough. This time we can find an excuse. Sigh, they must be here to ask for punishment like before. The old man also felt annoyed. Old master, why don't you go to Zhangjia Zhuangzi and ask that master? Maybe he has some good ideas, Li Sun said expectantly. Chapter 282. It was a spring outing, and many flowers were blooming, which family's two children were following the wind. It had been 2 days since the incident with the saboteurs. Wang Wan and Zhang Xiaobao saw that the weather was good today, and it wasn't that cold anymore. They changed their clothes and held hands as they went to take a look at the two newly acquired farmsteads. This time, they were with the Zhuangzi protection team. After all, they weren't familiar with the two Zhuangzi, so they had to take some protective measures. The spring plowing had officially begun. The two newly bought Zhuangzi were also working together like the original Zhangjia Zhuangzi. If anyone dared to slack off, they would be kicked out of Zhuangzi. It turned out that the Han family in Zhuangzi seemed to be a little anxious. After they tore down the main house's courtyard, they tore down their own house as well. Some of them were quick enough to use the bricks from the main house to build half a house. There was no housekeeper here, only the old man was temporarily in charge. He tore down his own house mainly because he thought that the spring plowing would start in a few days. Unexpectedly, the weather was good, and the spring plowing was brought forward. This way they could make more preparations. When Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan arrived, the farmers in Zhuangzi were worried about the houses they tore down. They could hold on during the day, but they would freeze to death at night. Originally, they wanted to build some houses today and make do with it. They would continue to build the houses in the next 2 days, and then dry them in charcoal basins. Who knew that just as they tore down the houses and built a new one, the main house told them that the spring plowing would start today. The livestock were bought and sent here. Naturally, the farmers didn't dare to object. But where would they stay at night? Zhang Xiaobao pulled Wang Wan to stand in the middle of the ruins. He thought for a while and said, I found that the speed of tearing down houses is indeed faster than building them. You guys just have to trouble the main house. Someone go back and ask them to send some tents. We can't let the farmers freeze to death today, right? Wang Wan also said to the farmers, don't worry about it. For the master, it's just a small matter to get some tents. Hurry up and get to work. The next time something like this happens, discuss it with the master first. The two of them spoke like little adults, but none of the villagers dared to look down on them. In fact, they were even more afraid. If they offended the madam of the house and the housekeeper, they would at most be scolded. At worst, they would be beaten a few times. However, if they offended these two little ancestors, the thoughts of children were different from those of adults. When the villagers saw one of the temple guards leave, they let out a burst of deliberately suppressed laughter. Only now did they remember that the main family was the Zhang family. The Zhang family was very good to the villagers, so how could they just leave them without a house to live in? The most prestigious old man began to arrange for people to do things. The main family had already done what they should and shouldn't do. If they didn't do something, the main family would get angry and drive them all away. That would be the end of them. After eating good food for a few days, the people who worked had more or less recovered. They immediately started to do things according to the new rules. Those who didn't do farm work had to prepare to cook, so that the people who worked at noon could eat. If the house was gone, They just had to build a stove and there was no lack of pots and pans. When Zhang Xiaobao saw this situation, he patted his head with his small hand and said to Wang Wan, "It seems that they haven't gotten used to being the Zhang family's villagers. They don't know that when they work like this, the main family is in charge of the ingredients for the food. Look at that, he's still looking for scallions. He doesn't know how to sharpen his broken knife or saw it. It's all teeth." Wang Wan pursed her lips and smiled at the side. People who were used to being oppressed would always do things according to the original way. It was impossible for them to change in such a short time. Seeing that Zhang Xiaobao was only complaining to her, she had no choice but to let her shout. "There's no need to prepare the ingredients for the food. The main family will bring it over in a while. Hurry up and sharpen your knives. Once the food is here, you have to start." When the people who were working heard Wang Wan's voice, they stopped what they were doing and stood there for a while before they reacted. The auntie next door, that's right. When Zhangjia Zhuangzi is working, the main family is in charge of the food. We don't have to take it ourselves. This time, the main family should be able to give us wine to drink. The ground is cold. Look at my memory. I forgot about this. A woman who was a little lame wiped her forehead with her sleeve and said to an older person next to her. That person also didn't think about this matter just now. When the people at home started working, those who couldn't do the work would cook. They had long forgotten the rules of Zhangjia Zhuangzi. Looking at the kitchen knife with a few teeth in her hand, she smiled embarrassedly and said, "Oh, I forgot. I followed a good main family. Last night, I even dreamed that I lived in a new house. I was a little anxious. Zhang Xiaobao's and Wang's houses in Zhuangzi weren't finished last year. They only fixed it a little. If we were in such a hurry to build a house, what would the main family think? When that person at home comes back, we'll talk to them. Let's finish the work first. After that, we'll help Zhang Xiaobao's and Wang's houses to build a new house. After that, we'll build another one. These days, we'll live in tents without knowing the rules. There has to be a first come, first served order." His auntie is right. We can't build a house. Zhang Xiaobao's and Wang's houses were working for Zhuangzi and delayed the construction of the house. This year, we built the house first. We haven't done anything for the main family yet. What would the main family think? Especially when the main family's master went to take the imperial examinations. Only the madam is in charge of the house. If we really build a house, others will definitely think that we're taking advantage of the main family's master not being at home. If they say something, we don't need to live in the new house anymore. We can just go somewhere else and seek a living. The woman who spoke just now also thought of this point. She felt a lingering fear in her heart. If the Zhang Xiaobao's and Wang's houses were built first, wouldn't they be looking down on the main family? The two of them spoke quite loudly. The people around them also heard them. Some of the more timid ones were so scared that they even cried. They didn't want to lose the main family, the Zhang family. Sigh. These people are really thinking too much. I didn't say anything. If they want to build a house, then so be it. It's just that they're building a single-story house. We won't build anything else for them for the time being. After the spring plowing, we'll all build two-story houses. Cuckoo, when the time comes, do you think we should build bricks, wood, or bamboo for the houses? The bricks will be sturdier, and the other two will look more comfortable, especially the bamboo ones. Zhang Xiaobao also heard what the two of them said. He felt that they were too timid. However, this was also good. After all, they had to think about the main family. He turned around and asked Wang Wan what kind of house to build. Wang Wan thought for a while and said, "Let's build a brick house. The wood and bamboo houses will be too damp. We'll have to live there in the future. We can't build a new house every year. A brick house with a small yard. We can plant some creepers at the foot of the wall." Are there creepers now? There are also morning glory flowers, which are also morning glory flowers. If there are, we can plant them. If there aren't, we can plant other kinds of pumpkins. When the time comes, there will be big melons on the roof. We can let them plant some grapes in the yard. When autumn comes, we can pick them and make some rock sugar to make wine. That's the only way. Originally, we were worried that we wouldn't have enough money to build a brick house. Now, we don't have to worry anymore. Someone is giving us money. Let's go find Li Sun and ask him about the deposit. At the same time, we can ask him to do some other things. Zhang Xiaobao also returned to reality from his imagination of the pavilions and bamboo houses. The houses for the villagers to live in had to be sturdy and durable. Other things couldn't be done. Besides, the cost of the houses was different. A brick house was expensive, but a bamboo house was too cheap. It was like fooling people. Seeing that he and Wang Wan didn't have to worry about the matters here, he pulled Wang Wan to the Yuan family Zhuangzi. Then he happened to find Li Sun. The Zhuangzi of the Li family was close to the Yuan family's Zhuangzi. When they arrived at the Yuan family's Zhuangzi, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan looked at the situation here. It was much better than the Han family's Zhuangzi. No one was tearing down the houses. Most of the people were working. Only a small number of people who were physically weak built a stove outside. The pot was placed on the table, the dishes were cleaned, and the knives were placed there. When Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan arrived, an old man stood out and said to them, "Hello, young master and young lady. The villagers are working. Is the master taking care of the meals?" "Yes. A carriage will deliver them in a moment. There will be 3 dishes today. There will be no wine for lunch, but there will be wine for dinner. There will also be a soup. There will be 2 vegetarian dishes and a meat dish. The soup will be fish soup, and there will be rice. There will only be rice today, but there will be pancakes tomorrow. There won't be enough time." Zhang Xiaobao looked at the old man's steady appearance and felt relieved. He told the old man what they were going to eat today. This time the old man finally couldn't keep his calm. It was one thing to know that the master of the Zhang family was good to the villagers, but it was another thing to personally experience it. There were 3 dishes and 1 soup, 2 vegetarian dishes and a meat dish, as well as fragrant rice and wine for dinner. Even if they ate at the small store, they wouldn't be reluctant to order so much. They even explained why there wasn't any pancakes. Where could they find such a master? The old man gasped for breath and said to Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, "Young master, young lady, you two can rest assured. Please also let the madam of the master rest assured. We, the villagers, will definitely put in all our effort. If anyone dares to slack off, this old man will make the decision not to give them food and let them starve to death." Zhang Xiaobao put on the posture of a young master of the master family and nodded. He looked at the river without water and asked, "What's the matter with this river?" "Young master, even if you didn't ask, I still had to tell you. I wanted you to tell the madam of the master family about this matter. Our Yuan family's Zhuangzi is adjacent to the Li family's Zhuangzi on one side, and the Chen family's Zhuangzi on the other side. This river was originally dug by the Yuan family, and they intercepted a portion of the water from the river in front of the Chen family. Now that the master of Zhuangzi changed, the Chen family blocked that area. That area belongs to the Yuan family, and the river wasn't originally there. Therefore, there is no water in the river now. There are still a few wells where some water can be extracted. Young master, you have to go back and tell the madam of the master family. Do you want to find the Chen family and have them open up the blocked area? Or do you want to get some water from elsewhere? The Li family's Zhuangzi has some, but the terrain there is a bit lower, so it's not easy to dig. Young master, let the madam take a look." Chapter 283. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan did not expect the situation to be so complicated. The Yuan family had diverted the water from the Chen family. The two families seemed to have a good relationship. Now that the person in charge was changed, the other side cut off the water. What was the reason? Xiaobao, did the Chen family ask us to discuss the water with them? They want to ask us for some money? This will be easier. I am just afraid that they will think that we are the ones who diverted the Yuan family, and will not give us the water anymore. The two of them walked back after knowing the situation. Wang Wan guessed that it was the Chen family's idea, but she was not sure. Zhang Xiaobao also thought of this problem. We don't know now. Steward Zhang will know when he asks them later. In fact, I am not afraid that they will not give us the water. If they really annoy me, I will cut off the water for them. The water in the small river that they diverted was from the river between the Wang family and the Ge family. The water first came from above, past the small bridge, and then came between the clouds and the water. After that, it came to the Li family's Zhuangzi. After that, it came to them. I would rather spend manpower and resources to divert the water, so that the other side does not belong to Sanshui County. When Steward Zhang comes back, we will know what they mean. That's good. Maybe they think that it is too easy for us to use the water directly. After all, there is only one river. If they don't block it, we will not think too much about it. We will not remember their kindness. If they block it, we will go over and tell them. If they open it, we will owe them one. Wang Wan tried to think positively. Owing them a favor can be made up. In the future, if Xiao Bao wants to do new business, he can just bring them along. The two of them talked, and went directly to the Li family's Zhuangzi. When the person in charge of the Zhuangzi saw the two of them, he did not dare to neglect. He did not even report, and led them to Li Sun's study room. Li Sun was still learning that book of nature. Although there were not many words, and the book was not thick, it was not easy to learn. He had to think for a long time before he could figure out many things. As soon as Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan arrived, Li Sun immediately pulled the two of them to the table and asked them about the things that he didn't understand. Zhang Xiaobao roughly knew some of it. In fact, he was also learning it. Only Wang Wan could explain some of it to Li Sun. They talked for 2 hours. Wang Wan was tired, and Li Sun needed some time to digest the information. This time, Zhang Xiaobao finally told them the purpose of their visit. Young Master Li, the reason I'm here is regarding the 3 workshops. Now that the workshops are under construction, we have the manpower. After a year of practice, we can start using them next year. We need to collect the money we used to purchase the furs. Zhang Xiaobao listed these items to Li Sun. Li Sun understood and immediately agreed. Then the 10,000 strings of coins will be here in the afternoon. What else is there for the workshops? Yes, there are. It's not enough to just have the workshops and skilled people. We have to do something new. For example, the design of the jewelry needs to be specially trained. The same goes for the other two. Therefore, we should build a school that specializes in learning these things. It will be built in the middle of the river. The Zhuangzi next to it will give them some compensation and let them move aside a little. Zhang Xiaobao told Li Sun about the school. Li Sun listened and thought about it. He said, "How much will it cost?" We agreed on a total of 90,000 strings of coins. I took out 10,000 strings of coins, and they also took out a lot of money. You haven't taken out your money yet. You still have to wait for more than 2 months. If you take out this money again, will there still be money left to build the dock? Shouldn't we wait until the dock is more or less ready to ship before we do something else? They said that as long as the dock can build small boats first, they can build them and sell them. This way, we can use the money from selling small boats to build bigger boats. Oh, they are thinking quite far ahead. It won't take more than 2 months. My family will be able to take out the money in a month. Let them build the school first and find skilled people to teach them. However, the school needs to be paid. Otherwise, they can still earn money when they go back to work. I calculated that there should be about 100 people in each school. Give each person 150 strings of coins a month. Let's see how it goes first. If it's good, we can increase the number of people to 300 in each school. We also have to take care of food and clothes, including accommodation. In fact, we can also build small boats without a dock. Let them build the school first, and then tell them to build small boats immediately. This way, even if we go out to sea a little later, we don't have to worry about not having enough people in the future. Let's see if it works. Zhang Xiaobao began to talk to Li Sun again. He also exaggerated the benefits. Li Sun had already believed in his master's words. As long as he followed the Zhang family, he would be right. When he heard Zhang Xiaobao's words, he felt that it made sense. He said, "Okay, when they bring the money in the afternoon, I'll tell them that it's only 3 schools. They will be useful in the future. They can't ignore the future. Then there's nothing else. Cuckoo and I are going to eat between the clouds and the water. Young Master Li, do you want to go with us or stay at home to eat?" Zhang Xiaobao came here for this purpose. He wanted to show people the workshop schools. Li Sun hesitated for a moment. "I'd better eat at home." I have to think about what Wang Wan said just now. Otherwise, it's easy to forget. You guys go ahead. I won't see you out. After he finished speaking, Li Sun stood up. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan also stood up. Li Sun walked them to the door of the study, then turned around and carefully reviewed what Wang Wan said just now. He was afraid that he would forget. Grandpa Bai, this eggplant with minced meat is for you. I've already peeled it. Wang Wan put a piece of eggplant with minced meat on the old man's plate. The old man ate it with a smile. It's delicious. It's really good. Eating eggplant in this season is not normal. Hee. I'm really blessed with the two of you here. The old man was happy. On one hand, the food was delicious. On the other hand, the most important thing was that Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan accompanied him to eat. They would always put food in his bowl. He enjoyed the happiness of a family reunion with the two of them. His health was getting better and better, and his complexion was not bad. He was no longer as sickly as he was when he first arrived here. Furthermore, even if he did not discipline Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, the two of them learned so quickly. He was already satisfied and was prepared to continue staying here. When the time came, he would see the two children's achievements. Grandpa Bai, in a few days, between the clouds and the water won't be a restaurant anymore. There will be many restaurants. My family wants to build an academy here. Grandpa Bai, can you find some good teachers? By then, others will come here to study. The scenery is good, and our farmers will be safe. Grandpa Bai has nothing to do. See which students are good and can be taught separately. The Zhang family will pay for this. When the time comes, Grandpa Bai will name the academy. Even if you teach 10 people, and one of them becomes a talent, it will be good for our country. Zhang Xiaobao had just won over Li Sun, and ran here to win over the old man. There were many benefits to building an academy. It could improve the status of the Zhang family and Wang family. It could let those who were admitted in the future have a sense of belonging to the academy and this place. Most importantly, they could earn money. This place was good. There were mountains and rivers, and there were so many restaurants. The children of the rich were not used to the food in the school cafeteria. Zhang Xiaobao didn't plan to let the cafeteria do a good job. With more income from the students, they could help to make this place famous. When the students wrote poems here, most of them would include the name of the place. For example, there was smoke early in Tuqiao village, between the clouds and the water, and the sun was late. Zhang Wang had Zhuang Xiaoqiao, and people far away did not know. And so on. As long as the poem was written well and spread, people who saw it would yearn for this place. They would want to experience going down the mountain in the middle of the water. When they came, they would have a way to spend money. Apart from this, they could also have friendly matches with other academies from other places from time to time. The venues would be rotated. When they were here, the spectators, the competitors, and some other people involved would be able to spend a lot more money. Otherwise, who would fight to hold the Olympic Games and the World Cup? It was because they could make money and become famous. This time, the old man really didn't expect Zhang Xiaobao to come up with a series of calculations. He only thought that the person behind the scenes wanted to come out of the mountain and needed to find a place. Building an academy was the best way. After thinking about it, the old man agreed. It could indeed cultivate some useful people for the country. Okay, as long as you build the place, I'll find a teacher to help you solve your problems. I can't be idle, so I'll teach you. Grandpa Bai, it's a deal. When the time comes, if a student can do something for the country, half of the credit will go to you. You will be known by the world. The Zhang family and Wang family, I'm wrong. As long as the Tang Empire has this academy, we can go one step further. Zhang Xiaobao began to put on the high hat for the old man, and buttoned it up one by one. Before the old man was put on the hat, he really thought that the Zhang family was willing to be a national talent. When he heard Zhang Xiaobao's words, he finally found that something was wrong. With an academy, the most popular families were the Zhuangzi and Zhang family. They originally had a school in Zhuangzi, and the child was still young. Moreover, the teacher they found was ordinary. He found a good teacher here, and the child in the school had some foundation and could be transferred. Who was this talent for? Good academy. Xiaobao and Cuckoo, go back and tell them that I agree. When the time comes, The restaurant will make more money than some poor students. The old man said to Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. Zhang Xiaobao regretted. Why did he say so many nice words just now? It was over. The old man found out about it, and specifically mentioned the matter of making money for the restaurant. Wang Wan chuckled. Grandpa Bai, don't worry. When the time comes for examinations, as long as those poor students do well, we will give them some rewards. The money will be taken from the restaurant's earnings. Chapter 284. While Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were happily chatting with the old man, Steward Zhang was not happy at all. When Steward Zhang knew that the young master wanted him to go to the Chen family's zhuangzi to talk about something, he hurriedly ate some food and rushed over. When he arrived, he saw that the small river leading to the Yuan family's zhuangzi was blocked. He filled some sacks with sand and threw them at the source of the water. Seeing that the river did not flow there, Steward Zhang became anxious. The spring plowing had begun, and they were all paddy fields. Without water, what were they going to plant? He quickly knocked on the door of the Chen family's zhuangzi. The Chen family's zhuangzi did not have any official position, and was only a businessman. Just looking at the tall door, Steward Zhang could feel the aura of gold and silver. As the door was pulled open from the inside, a head popped out from the crack and looked around. Finally, his eyes stopped on Steward Zhang and asked, "What are you doing here? Which one are you looking for?" "Little brother, I am the housekeeper of Zhangjia Zhuangzi of Tuqiao village. I want to discuss something with your master. Please help me pass on the message." Steward Zhang puffed out his chest and said to the person behind the door, "Tuqiao village? Which village? Zhangjia Zhuangzi? I don't know. Master is busy and has no time. Come back tomorrow." The gatekeeper threw down these words and closed the door with a bang. Steward Zhang was stunned. He looked at the closed door, and did not react for a long time. He did not know the Zhangjia Zhuangzi of Tuqiao village. Who would believe that? It's not like it's far away. Don't you know whose water is blocked by your house? After hesitating for a moment, Steward Zhang took out 20 copper coins from his sleeve pocket and counted them in his hand. He went to knock on the door again. After a few knocks, the door was opened from the inside again. The same head popped out and looked at Steward Zhang. "What's wrong with you? I told you that master is busy. Why are you still knocking? If you have the time, you should think about what to do. You're an adult and don't know how to behave." As he spoke, he was about to close the door again. Steward Zhang quickly said, "Little brother, I do have something to discuss with your master. This money is for you to buy a cup of tea." Steward Zhang said as he handed the money over. The gatekeeper's eyes suddenly widened and his expression changed. He took the money and said, "Oh, so it's Steward Zhang from Zhangjia Zhuangzi of Tuqiao village. Look at me, I'm confused. Wait a moment, I'll go in and report." The gatekeeper turned around and ran inside as quickly as he closed the door. Steward Zhang could hear the footsteps. He curled his lips and muttered, "This is the kind of gatekeeper. Just wait and see. Don't expect to make a fortune." If the gatekeeper of Zhangjia Zhuangzi dares to do this, I'll break his leg. After waiting for a while, he heard the footsteps inside. Then the door was opened, and a person came out. He looked at Steward Zhang, and they looked at each other. Steward Zhang said first, "Are you the head of the Chen family?" "I'm the housekeeper of the Chen family. Master is busy and can't come out. If you have something to say, just say it." The person who came out didn't mean to let Steward Zhang in. He blocked the door and said. Steward Zhang felt uncomfortable. What was this? He didn't even have the basic etiquette. Could it be that he couldn't even afford a cup of tea? Suppressing the unhappiness in his heart, Steward Zhang pointed behind him. It was the place where the river was and said, "It's spring, so we need some water. I didn't know that the river was connected to your village. After it broke, I came to check and found out. I hope that your village can move that thing away for the sake of your neighbor. In the future, the Zhang family will be very grateful." "What river?" "Oh, the ditch that the Yuan family used to connect to. This is difficult. There isn't enough rain this year. We don't know if we have enough water in our fields. If we dig up the ditch, what will happen to our village? Why don't Steward Zhang go back and think of other ways?" I can't help you here. Housekeeper Chen didn't have any expression on his face when he spoke. He directly refused to give water. Steward Zhang naturally didn't believe him. What lack of rain? How could he not know how much water there was on the other side of the river? Otherwise, why would he expand the river? He thought in his heart, but couldn't say it out loud. Housekeeper Chen, let's not talk about the rain first. Zhangjia Zhuangzi is willing to pay. Let's give you 100 copper coins for 1 day. Is that okay? Hearing Steward Zhang's words, Housekeeper Chen turned his head and looked to the side. He didn't say anything. 150 copper coins a day. What do you think? Steward Zhang added more money. There was a lot of land there. 150 copper coins wasn't a lot. Housekeeper Chen still didn't say anything. Steward Zhang had to raise the price again. 200 copper coins a day. If it's more, we might as well dig a well. At this time, Housekeeper Chen said, digging a well is good. It's convenient to use water. Even if there isn't enough rain, we don't have to worry. Steward Zhang's idea is good. If we lack manpower to dig a well, the Zhuangzi of the Chen family can send people over to help. The daily wages can be given as usual. As for food, I think Zhangjia Zhuangzi will give the villagers the same as usual. Steward Zhang knew that Housekeeper Chen wouldn't agree. He thought about it and tried again. Housekeeper Chen, in the future, the Zhuangzi of the Zhang and Chen families will be connected. Who doesn't have difficulties? At that time, if the Chen family is in trouble, the Zhang family won't stand by and do nothing. Don't. If the Chen family is in trouble, your Zhang family must stand by and do nothing. Don't get involved with the Chen family. The Chen family isn't as capable as the Yuan and Han families. They can't afford to compensate, and they can't find people to go to the capital to mediate. Zhangjia Zhuangzi, just let the Chen family go. Tomorrow, get someone to plant some thorns between the two Zhuangzi. In the future, the Zhuangzi won't be connected. Housekeeper Chen sneered. As he spoke, he cupped his hands to Steward Zhang. Steward Zhang understood that the Chen family Zhuangzi was either related to the two Zhuangzi, or they were doing this on purpose. Isn't the Zhang family powerful? If I ignore you, I'll show you who's more powerful. Other than these two reasons, Housekeeper Zhang couldn't think of any other reason. If it was Zhangjia Zhuangzi who harmed the Han and Yuan families, as long as one wasn't a fool, one would know that it was wrong. It was the Han and Yuan families who harmed them. Steward Zhang lowered his head and thought for a while. Just as he raised his head and was about to speak, he saw that Housekeeper Chen had already turned around and went back in. The door was closed with a bang. Steward Zhang stood at the door for a while. In the end, he couldn't do anything. He sighed helplessly, turned around, and went back to talk to the young master and see what he would do. When Steward Zhang dejectedly returned to between the clouds and the water, Zhang Xiaobao and the other children were learning from the old man. As they were learning, they saw Steward Zhang coming over. The old man also saw the expression on Steward Zhang's face and stopped talking. Steward Zhang, what's wrong? Is it that no matter what we say, they won't give us any water? Tell us what you said, everyone listen. Don't worry. When Zhang Xiaobao saw Steward Zhang's expression, he understood and comforted him. Steward Zhang sat down on the stool and told the young master everything that had happened, including what he thought, what he said, and what the other party was like. He didn't add anything that shouldn't be said. He knew that the young master didn't want to hear those things that had been changed. Oh, I see. They want to arm wrestle with my Zhang family. If they won't give us any water, then so be it. Why do they have to say those sarcastic words? They don't seem to have any relationship with the other two families. And it's the same with County Magistrate one. Otherwise, how would a merchant family dare to speak to Steward Zhang like that after the 3 people were arrested? Since that's the case, forget it. Spend more money and effort. Let's take the river from the Li family. Our land is higher, so we'll dig deeper. Let them plant thorns. If they want to plant them in their own land, so be it. We'll agree to let them plant half of it. In the future, we'll go our separate ways and mind our own business. Today we've wronged Steward Zhang. Originally, the main family should help Steward Zhang, but this matter is too small. It's not worth it to become a life and death enemy. When there's a chance in the future, we'll definitely help Steward Zhang get back his dignity. After hearing what Steward Zhang said, Zhang Xiaobao pondered for a while and decided on this. There wasn't any deep hatred, so he couldn't use thunderous means immediately. If this continued, he would make more enemies in the future. With the young master's words, I won't feel wronged anymore. I believe that the young master will get back at me one day. Then I'll arrange for people to dig the canal now. When Steward Zhang heard the young master talk about his matter in private, he felt much better. It was only now. He had suffered less grievances in the past. If Zhuangzi couldn't do it, then what could he do? He could only endure. Wasn't this the job of a steward? To take the blame, and be wronged again. Zhang Xiaobao nodded and didn't say anything. He felt uncomfortable in his heart. Before beating a dog, one had to look at its master. The Chun family's Zhuangzi didn't give them any face at all. Steward Zheng's men were more than the Chun family's Zhuangzi. Don't do anything overboard. Don't offend me. Otherwise, I won't let your Chun family have an easy time. Zhang Xiaobao tapped his face with his hand as he pondered. Wang Wan saw this from the side and began to mourn for the Chun family. Zhang Xiaobao's personality had always been like this. An eye for an eye, an eye for an eye. Furthermore, his revenge was even more ruthless. If you slapped him, he would return the favor with a knife. The old man didn't want to care about this kind of thing. When he saw that Steward Zhang had left, he continued to talk. The old man was much more knowledgeable than Father Zhang, and the children who listened benefited greatly. Even his granddaughter, Xin'er, could understand part of it. These days Xin'er had been eating xiaoxian. She didn't want to be too far away from others. Zhang Xiaobao wasn't the kind of person who kept thinking about how to affect other things when he encountered something small. After Steward Zheng's matter was over, he put all his attention on his studies and didn't think about it at all. Chapter 285. Mountains and rivers were everywhere, and the moon was hazy in the merry manner. The lights were bright, and people were in a hurry. Before they slept, the fog was thick. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan accompanied the old man to have dinner in the evening. They went to Li Xin to get the money and asked people to transport it away. Then they took the car to see the Zhuangzi who tore down the house. Before they arrived, they could hear the sounds of activity coming from the other side. There were the bold words of the people drinking, and the laughter of children playing. The lanterns over there were lit, and they could see the tents propped up one after another. They could also see the shadows of people swaying there. The fog came early today. It was humid and uncomfortable before the sky was completely dark. At this moment, the fog was even thicker. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's car was also lit with lanterns. There was also a small flag with a little seedling on it. This little seedling had eyes and was very cartoonish. Some even had hands and feet. There were several kinds of flags. Zhang Xiaobao's flag was a male seedling. Wang Wan's flag was a female seedling with a bow on her head. If Father Zhang went out, the seedling would wear a hat on her head. The Jiang Wang clan's flag was a hairpin. The strong seedling protection team's flag was a spade in the seedling's hand. Even Steward Zhang had his own flag. The seedling's flag was a ledger. The Zhang family didn't have anyone to take care of the ledger. Only the Jiang Wang clan was in charge of it. When they found an accountant in the future, they could assign someone to take care of the ledger. Zhuangzi couldn't do it in the past, so there was no need for someone to take care of the ledger. Now that they didn't have enough manpower, they were preparing to train people in the inner courtyard to take over. When that time came, Steward Zhang would have to change his flag. At this time, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's flags were two seedlings holding hands. It was obvious that the little ancestors of the Zhang family and the Wang family were going out at the same time. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan didn't want to participate. Everyone was so happy. Now that two people from the main family came, the atmosphere immediately changed. The two of them just looked around. When they saw that there was nothing to do, they ordered the car to turn around and go back. After a short nap, the two of them got up to study again. The old man talked more than Zhang Xiaobao's father usually did, and he also talked more deeply. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were already having a hard time learning, especially Zhang Xiaobao. He had a weak foundation, and relied on the adult way of thinking to catch up. But he would never admit defeat, nor would he give up. He tried his best to remember, thinking that he would master the things that the old man taught him through a comprehensive study. At the same time, he also had to practice calligraphy. When others read an article, the first thing they looked at was the words. Just like chicken chop, even a good article would be degraded. The two of them studied for almost 4 hours before they finally understood what they heard during the day. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan put down their pens at the same time and rubbed their wrists. Xiaobao, I asked you to get another 10,000 strings of cash. This time, we finally have more money. Otherwise, the river would be a little difficult. Are you planning to get this much? Wang Wan squeezed her sore eyes and asked Zhang Xiaobao. No, I plan to take over the 3 workshops and the 3 schools. They probably don't have any money on hand. Back then, they must have planned to come here to cheat once. Who would have thought that Li Sun would find us? In order to continue cheating, they had no choice but to agree to what Li Sun said and built 3 workshops for show. Zhang Xiaobao originally planned to have his own research department, but he didn't have time. Now that someone else had helped him, he could just occupy it. Wang Wan nodded. She still didn't fully understand. Xiaobao, do you know how they plan to cheat? This was Zhang Xiaobao's strength. This was what he studied. He said, it's simple. They originally had some money. After cooperating with Li Sun, they should directly start to build the dock. They don't need to finish building it. They just need to have a framework. This way, they can find more rich people to invest money. With Li Sun's identity, those who invested money were relieved. Who would have thought that they would dare to cheat Li Sun? This way, they raised a large sum of money. Look, the management is still in their hands. Li Sun just doesn't have enough for dividends, but he can give suggestions. That's why they built the workshop. It's for others to see. They wanted others to misunderstand that Li Sun had the authority to manage this place. Once they had invested enough money, they would build this shipyard and use the sea route to do business to attract more people to invest in this shipyard. This would allow them to build bigger ships. When all of this is successful, they will use the identity of the manager to sell the dock. Then they will take the money and run away. Look at the document they signed with Li Sun. It says that they can dispose of the dock, but they need to give the money to Li Sun. But if they run away, where can you find them? For example, they ran to Tubo and hid their identity. You can't send troops to look for them, right? Or they can run to a place further away. That's not right. If they run like that, how will they transport the money? Wang Wan raised her doubts. They can just say that they are going to buy things. Also, the people who bought the dock will come and look at it first. After looking at it, they will go elsewhere to write the document. Actually, it doesn't matter to them whether they write the document or not. The money from selling the dock can be sent to other places. If he wanted to do things more perfectly, he could first build some small boats. Then after selling the boats, he would split the profits with the owners. This way, it would be faster to attract more people. In fact, the owners would even continue to invest as they saw the benefits. This kind of thing happens every year. Actually, it is illegal to raise money and then abscond with the money. It's a very simple plan and many people are fooled. But when it comes to the operation, the details are slightly different, but it's still the same. Zhang Xiaobao explained this theory. You have done this before? Wang Wan noticed that Zhang Xiaobao is beside her, and she is relieved. She only saw the beginning, and she knows what is going on. Zhang Xiaobao arrogantly raised his chin. I don't want to use this kind of method. It's boring. Tieste, you are still bragging. Actually, your method is very simple. I know all about it. Wang Wan pretended to be disdainful. Yes, you know that. But if I want to, I can lie to you like this. You will definitely fall for it again. This is just like fighting moves. There are only a few kinds of moves, and when combined together, the power will be different. You can't beat someone, and then you watch the replay of the video and think about it for a while. In the end, you still can't beat someone. Moves are dead, but people are alive. Zhang Xiaobao pinched Wang Wan's nose. After saying that, he did not want to shower and went straight to bed. He is exhausted today. Wang Wan also burrowed under her blanket. You can't lie to me. If I don't take advantage of you, what can you do to me? The next morning, after Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had breakfast, they went to find the old man to learn something. The old man usually fishes for a while first. In Zhang Xiaobao's opinion, his fishing skills can only be considered mediocre. He has told him a few times, but he is still the same. After accompanying the old man to fish for a while, the others also came over and prepared to listen to the lecture. The old man has been very happy these days. The people he taught are all good, and his granddaughters are also better than the average person. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan are all good, and even the little girl Lu is extraordinary. This makes the old man feel a sense of achievement as a good teacher. After less than 2 hours of the lecture, Steward Zhang came over angrily. When the old man stopped, he said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Young master, the Chen family is too much." "What? Did they plant all the brambles on our side?" Zhang Xiaobao asked. "No, they planted all the brambles on their side. But not only did they plant them on the ground, they also planted them on the road. That is the original road of the Yuan family Shuangzi. They planted the brambles on the road, and did not let that road lead to the other side. I don't know how they did it, but the title deed actually included the road as his houses. If we want to transport goods from here, it's too far. Moreover, there's a big market over there. If we want to sell things there, we can't go around in a big circle, right? Even if we take a detour, there is no road. A road that usually takes an hour will take at least 10 hours if we take a detour." I went to reason with them, but they still said the same thing. They don't want to have anything to do with Zhangjia Zhuangzi, and asked us to be magnanimous. Steward Zhang began to complain. Zhang Xiaobao listened quietly. After listening to him, he suddenly smiled and said, "Now my conscience is at ease. Well, since they gave us such a good reason, if we don't use it, we'll be letting them down. Steward Zhang, come here, let me tell you." Zhang Xiaobao called Steward Zhang over. After some arrangements, Steward Zhang left happily. Zhang Xiaobao looked back at the old man and said, "If the heavens want to punish you, you can go against it. If you want to punish yourself, you can't live." Now Steward Zhang can vent his anger. People really can't compare to Zhuangzi of the Gu family. Guingxi knows that cooperation is mutually beneficial. They actually want to use this kind of method to suppress the Zhang family. I want to see what kind of business they are doing. When I have time, I will ask someone to do it. You are full of bad ideas. That person could teach you anything, but why did he have to teach you this kind of thing? Follow me. The old man didn't ask what Steward Zhang was going to do. He would know when the time came. Looking at Zhang Xiaobao's righteous appearance while scheming against others, he shook his head. He was a little resentful of the person behind this. A good child, when it came to bad ideas, he could really draw inferences about other cases. After a while, when the old man was resting, Wang Wan pulled Zhang Xiaobao and asked, "What did you ask Steward Zhang to do?" "Nothing. Just what we talked about last time, changing the river's course. I didn't want to change it at first, because if I changed it, others wouldn't be able to get water. But once it was changed, the distance between our river and that of Grandfather Bai's nephew's river would be shortened. I had good intentions and wanted to be a good person. Unfortunately, they didn't give me the chance. Why do they always make things difficult for me?" Chapter 286. Steward Zhang walked out of the pavilion with a happy mood. He almost jumped out of the pavilion. Only the tips of his feet touched the ground. It was as if he had changed into a different person. The usually taciturn person was now beaming with joy and humming a tune that seemed to be out of tune. Steward Zhang was very happy. He knew that the young master was capable, but he didn't expect him to be so ruthless. No wonder the young master asked him to bear with it when he was wronged yesterday. It turned out that this idea was a little against the natural order. What about the Chen family Zhuangzi? Why couldn't your Chen manor have done this at a better time? Why did you have to wait until there were so many people repairing the river? Then, you could have diverted some people and changed the river's course. It would have gone around a few hills there. They aren't big, just a few. But the water wouldn't be able to pass through. Unless your Chen manor dug the hills. Steward Zhang seemed to feel that just thinking about it couldn't make him happy anymore. He muttered as he walked. When he reached the river, he directly found the person in charge of this matter and ordered, "Gather 1,000 people. Go there and dig the river." The young master said that we don't need to care about the other families. Just connect the river with the one the Zhang family is digging. We have to finish it within a day. It's only 6 miles in total. Go, go, go. When the person heard that it was the young master's order, he didn't dare to delay and immediately went to find people. After shouting a few times, about 1,300 people came over. The person in charge was about to ask for 1,000 people to stay when Steward Zhang spoke. "That's all. Go and dig immediately. If you can't finish it in the day, continue at night. I'll give you good food and pay. But if you don't work hard, you don't have to work here." When these people heard that they would be paid, they became happy. They were supposed to do 20 days of volunteer work. Especially when they heard that there would be good food at night. Since Steward Zhang said so, it was definitely good food. He took the tools and walked over. Originally, this place had already been marked out, but Zhang Xiaobao did not want the water below to run out, so he changed it a little. Now it was just right to use it. It was a kind of plant that was grown in a dry place, so there was no need to use so much water. With 1,300 to 1,400 people, they only managed to dig out 6 li of the river. They didn't need a large boat, so it was quite easy. Especially now that the snow had melted and spring had arrived, the ground was soft. With one shovel, they could dig out a large piece of the river. Steward Zhang watched them work and did not plan to go anywhere else. He just waited. When the river was finished, he would block the other side. That side belonged to the Wang clan and the Gu clan. He thought that the Gu clan would not help the Cheng clan. With so many people, they dug all the way until night fell. They lit a fire and continued to work. When they rested, Steward Zhang gave them 4 dishes and a bowl of wine. He didn't give them any soup. Each person drank a large bowl of wine to warm their bodies and make them more energetic. If they drank too much, they wouldn't be able to do it. When these people saw that the wine and food were good, they all patted their chests and promised that they would not sleep until they finished digging. Steward Zhang took out some copper coins and gave each person 10. These people's enthusiasm was completely aroused. Steward Zhang did not feel sleepy. He was always energetic. From time to time, he would look in the direction of the Cheng clan Zhuangzi. However, he was blocked by the mountain, so he felt very happy. After these people finished eating, they began to work again under the light of the lanterns. After drinking wine, their bodies were warm. The cool feeling at night made them work faster. In the middle of the night, the river connected to the other side was dug out. After the water was released, they could continue to widen it. The water level was low now, so they were not in a hurry. The rest of the work did not need to be done by those who were working. Steward Zhang let them go back to rest and wait for the young master and young lady to come over. Ordinary people could not do this work. Ernie could do it, but it was a pity that he followed master to the capital. Steward Zhang was still not sleepy. He was still excited. After thinking about it, he had to go back to sleep. Otherwise, he would not have the strength to deal with the Cheng clan tomorrow. He was ready to vent his anger. In the darkness of the night, many people could not sleep. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were lying on the bed and talking. "Cuckoo, are you sure you can do it tomorrow? The quality of the soil has not been tested. I am afraid that something will happen." Zhang Xiaobao was lying there, looking at the roof, and asked Wang Wan. Wang Wan was lying there with her chin on the pillow. She moved her head and said, "Don't worry. It's just an explosion. Blow up the last place that is blocking the water. I will not stand there and use the fire sickle to ignite the fire. I will pull the cannon line long. This should be fine, right? Pull it out 2 li. Our cannon line is a bamboo pipe. How can you connect it so far? Why don't you think of another way? Don't get too close. I am worried." Zhang Xiaobao was still a little worried. Wang Wan had already heard Zhang Xiaobao say it 6 times. She knew that he was worried about her. She could only say, "How about this? Let's put oil paper under the fire. The twisters will connect directly to that place. Then I will use the fire sickle to ignite it. You see if it works. Put a few more. There will be one that will be affected." At worst, I will use 100,000 firecrackers. If I am not afraid that the medicinal rope will get wet, I will use it directly. I know to be careful. Let's sleep. Yes, let's use the medicinal rope. If one strand is not enough, let's make dozens of strands. When combined, how much can it get wet? Tomorrow morning, we will get them to make it. Let's sleep. Zhang Xiaobao thought of an idea and was relieved. Wang Wan turned over and fell asleep. She knew that there were many ways, but Zhang Xiaobao was worried that something would happen to her. So he was confused. Steward Zhang did not sleep at this time. He did not sleep with his wife. Today he wanted to sleep by himself. He lay there and muttered, "You are finished. My young master avenged me. How dare you block the road? Tomorrow it will be fine. I am going to sleep. I want to see if the Chen family's master and butler can treat me like they did yesterday and today. Humph. I am not the steward Zhang of the past who can be bullied by anyone. No, I am going to sleep. This time, my body is going to sleep. You said that you don't have any contact with the Zhang family. I don't believe it. How can you run away sleep? Heavenly Horse." In Zhuangzi, the head of the Chen family, Chen Gengxin, was also not asleep. He was talking with Butler Chen in the study. "Steward Chen, don't you think we've gone too far? The Zhang family didn't offend us, nor did they provoke us. We're blocking the river and the road. If they find the imperial nephew, won't they find an excuse to arrest us too?" Chen Gengxin said to Butler Chen worriedly. "Master, don't worry. No matter how powerful they are, they have to find a reason. After all, we asked the Yuan family to dig this river. It is under our control. As for blocking the road, Master, if we don't do this, how can we get benefits? They have been in trouble several times, and they have won. If we are so obedient, there will be no place for the Chen family in the future. This time, if we do well, not only can we get benefits from the Zhang family, but other businessmen will also know how powerful we are. Master, it will be much easier for you to do business." Butler Chen persuaded him, as if he was about to succeed. He was very excited. Chen Gengxin was also moved by the butler's words. After thinking about it, he felt that there was nothing to be afraid of. He relaxed a little and said with a smile, "Butler Chen, you are the best. If it were someone else, they would be afraid of them. At that time, they would not be able to get any benefits and the family business would be difficult. Butler Chen, you have done a great job this time." "Master, you don't have to praise me like this. I did what I should do. In the future, no one will dare to mess with our Chen family in this place. Except for the emperor's nephew. We don't need to be afraid of anyone else," Steward Chen said modestly, but his smug expression could not be concealed. Chen Gengxin naturally did not care about his expression. He closed his eyes and thought about the future. He said, "Steward Chen, after the spring plowing, come out with me for a walk. There are some trades that you have to do more often." Housekeeper Chen didn't expect that this master, who was also his brother-in-law, would show him mercy and let him intervene in his family's business. He was so happy that he couldn't speak for a while. After a while he said, "Master, don't worry. I will definitely do the business well. If there is even a little mistake, you can drive me out." "Master, it's late. You should go to bed early." "Well, that's good. Go to your sister's place. Don't worry. Do your job well. It doesn't matter if there is a little mistake." Chen Gengxin stood up and said to Butler Chen. He turned and left, heading to another wing room. Butler Chen was relieved. As long as his brother-in-law still wanted to go to his sister's place, his position in the family would not be taken away by others. After a while, Butler Chen gently closed the door. He stood in the middle of the yard and said to himself, "Tomorrow, I will go to the Zhang family to talk about something. Well, I will go early in the morning." Chapter 287. Steward Zhang glared at Steward Chen as if he was his enemy. He had a reason to do so. Even the nephew of the emperor didn't treat him that way. Even the third-grade minister didn't treat him that way. "How dare you, a small steward of the Chen family, treat me like that?" Steward Chen smiled and looked at Steward Zhang with the eyes of a winner. Steward Zhang had already walked in front of Steward Chen, but he suddenly stopped. After thinking about it, he turned around and went back. He met Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan and said, "Little young master, little miss, let's go now." Steward Zhang just suddenly thought, "Why should I talk to you first? I didn't go to you, so I turned around and came back. Steward Chen, if you want to talk, just say it. If you don't want to talk, then forget it. Anyway, you have to come later." Steward Chen was stunned for a moment. Then he smiled and gently patted the invisible dust on his body with his hand. He took the initiative to come over and said to Steward Zhang, "Steward Zhang, my master said that he can give the Zhang family a chance. Go and find someone who can make the decision. If you miss this chance, there won't be a next time. You have to seize it well." "Who is your master? Do you know me? But why don't I know you? What's your name?" Steward Zhang looked at Steward Chen indifferently and said disdainfully. Now he was the host, not to mention that the little young master and the little miss were beside him. Steward Chen suddenly laughed. "Ha ha ha ha, Steward Zhang, what's wrong? Are you scared? Do you feel ashamed? You failed to do what you wanted to do, so I came to find someone who can make the decision in your family. You feel ashamed?" At this time, before Steward Zhang spoke, Zhang Xiaobao asked first, "Steward Zhang, who is this person? Why do I smell the stench of money all over my body? What about you, cuckoo?" "Me too. I don't have a good figure, good looks, temperament, talent, and taste. It's not his fault for being born like this, but it's his fault for wandering around." Wang Wan understood. Zhang Xiaobao was letting the butler vent his anger first, so he naturally knew what to say. When Steward Chen heard what the two kids said and had to face their disdainful eyes, his face turned green and then white. Steward Zhang, however, burst into laughter at the side. He looked gratefully at the young master and young madam and said, "Young master, young madam, it's all my fault. In a moment, I'll tell the people over there that they can't let anything in. Please punish them." At this time, Steward Zhang had an impulse to cry. The young master and young madam were really good. They helped him say these words that no one would have thought of. He didn't expect that these two little ancestors were not only good at making money, managing, and scheming, but also so good at insulting others. They were really like immortals. Steward Chen felt bad for a while. Finally, he remembered who had the upper hand now. He tried to suppress the anger in his heart and said to Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan with a smile, "You are the children of the Zhang family and the Wang family, right? How old are you? Where are your parents? Where are you from?" Zhang Xiaobao glanced at Steward Chen and asked with a sneer. "I am the steward of the Chen family in Zhuangzi." Steward Chen calmed down. He always felt a little absent-minded when facing the two kids. "Oh, steward, I thought you were the head of the family. What does your master do? What rank is he?" Zhang Xiaobao asked again. "My master doesn't have an official position. He specializes in big business," Steward Chen replied. "Business? Businessman? You're not even a farmer? Don't you know that this is where the government lives? How can you be so unruly? Aya Xiaobao, business is really bad. Look at his steward. How can he be a steward with this kind of appearance? Don't tell me that your sister is your master's concubine?" At this time Wang Wan said, "Who said that the people of the second bureau wouldn't insult others?" Wang Wan's innocent appearance made people vomit blood. Wang Wan was just casually saying. She didn't know that Steward Chen was really her master's concubine. Her words were like a knife that stabbed into Steward Chen's chest. Steward Chen felt his vision go black, and he almost fainted. After shaking his head twice, Steward Chen couldn't bear it anymore and shouted loudly, "My master will give you a chance. As long as you promise to sell 30% of the rice to my Chen family at the normal price, my family will give you water and let you pass. Think about it carefully. After you think about it, go to the Chen family and beg my master. Humph, you two kids, let me tell you, because of you, your family has to give 10% more rice. Originally, 20% was enough, but now it's not enough." After he finished speaking, he still felt angry and stared at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. Wang Wan turned her head and didn't want to talk to this person. Zhang Xiaobao curled his lips. "Go back quickly. The outside world is not suitable for you. Now I'm telling you, because of what you said, the Chen family will go bankrupt. Take care of yourself. Steward Zhang, let's go. Why bother with a crazy person? As soon as Xiaobao finished speaking, the three of them walked towards the small river. Steward Zhang protected the two little ancestors who helped him vent his anger. From time to time, he would look back and smile at Steward Chen. Steward Chen really wanted to beat the two kids, but he didn't dare. He felt that if he really rushed over, he might die here. He didn't know why, but he had this kind of idea. After standing there for a while, he turned around and left, waiting for the Zhang family to come to the Chen family to ask for help. Then he would take revenge. When he turned around and left, in a pile of firewood 20 steps away from where he stood just now, a person put away the longbow in his hand and continued to lie down, half asleep. In a tree hole on the other side, someone put down the crossbow, spat to the side, narrowed his eyes and stopped moving. Steward Zhang, are you still angry? Later you can still make them angry, even their family head. Zhang Xiaobao said to Steward Zhang, Little young master, little miss, today I did vent my anger. I didn't expect you and little young master to be so powerful. I admire you. I'm not angry now. Which family steward was wronged, and the little young master and little miss of the main family helped him. I'm so old, and I'm most grateful to my father and mother for giving birth to me in the Zhang family. Steward Zhang had already vented his anger, so he spoke incoherently. At the same time, he also knew the little ancestor's ability. He estimated that Steward Chen wouldn't be able to eat or sleep when he went back. Zhang Xiaobao enjoyed Steward Zhang's flattery and said, I left him for you. Otherwise, Cuckoo and I would have made him angry. Little young master. Yes, little young master is right. Steward Zhang didn't care whether little young master was talking nonsense or really had the ability. Anyway, little young master was right. The rest was up to him. Humph, was the Zhang family so easy to mess with? The three of them talked and laughed as they came to the place where the explosion was going to happen. On the other side, there were already people preparing to fill the sandbags. Wang was personally in charge of positioning and estimating the amount of gunpowder. She looked left and right and asked people to empty the place she was sure of. That was the shovel, and then the gunpowder. A long line of gunpowder was pulled out and only stopped when it was 200 meters away from the other side. Everyone else dispersed. Wang personally lit the fuse and watched as the line of gunpowder flew towards the other side. Accompanied by a loud boom, the remaining area was directly blasted open. Water flowed down the dug river. The people on the other side threw sandbags down one after another. It didn't take long for the other side to be blocked. The water in the river disappeared in an instant. Okay, now we just need to wait. Steward Zhang, I'll leave the things here to you. Zhang Xiaobao pulled Wang and walked towards between the clouds and the water. Steward Zhang stood there in high spirits and waited. At first, he waited for a servant of the Chen family, but when he arrived, he didn't say anything. He looked at him, and then turned and ran away. After more than half an hour, more than 50 people appeared. The person in the front was Steward Chen. He walked and said something to the person behind him. When they arrived, Steward Chen directly shouted to Steward Zhang, Steward Zhang, what do you mean by this? Why did you block our side? There hasn't been much rain recently. I'm afraid that Zhuangzi is short of water, so I blocked it. Steward Zhang now felt that life was too good. When he went there, that was what Steward Zhang said. Your river. My river is jointly owned by the Wang family and the Gu family. This place belongs to both of our families. Why don't you sue us, Steward Gu? Steward Zhang wasn't anxious at all. He asked Steward Gu, who also came to help. Yes, that's right. There hasn't been much rain recently, so we have to block the river between our two families. Steward Gu said cooperatively. Steward Zhang then said, This river really can't be used anymore. Why don't you think of other ways? If you want to dig a well, we can help. We'll pay you the usual wages, and you'll have to eat and drink like how we treat the farmers. When Steward Zhang said this, he pinched his leg hard with his hand. He was afraid that he couldn't help but laugh, so his face turned red. This time, the people of the Chen family were dumbfounded, especially Chen Gingxin and housekeeper Chen. Housekeeper Chen told the old master about what happened that day. Chen Gingxin laughed at that time. He didn't expect that retribution would come so quickly. Chen Gingxin glared fiercely at Housekeeper Chen and asked him to go up and plead for mercy. Housekeeper Chen had no choice but to squeeze out a smile and said to Housekeeper Zhang, "Housekeeper Zhang, look, our two farms are next to each other. We are neighbors, so we will have to help each other in the future. Do you think you can go easy on us?" Steward Zhang was waiting for this sentence. He turned back and smiled at the people he brought. When he turned back, he cupped his hands and said to Steward Chen, No, don't. The Zhang family's farmstead doesn't want to have anything to do with your Chen family's farmstead. The two original farmsteads are finished. What if they implicate you? Tomorrow, no, today, I'll get people to plant thorns there. Please be magnanimous, and don't have anything to do with the Zhang family's farmstead. Chapter 288. Yesterday, the river flowed past my door. Today it has stopped. I asked the river to go to the other side. The sky is blue. That was the thought of Steward Chen and Steward Zhang. One day, in just one day, their master and subordinate positions had undergone a great change. Both of them had mixed feelings in their hearts. The day before yesterday, just the day before yesterday, Steward Chen felt that he had stepped on the clouds. He didn't expect that he would be kicked down and flattened. Looking at Steward Zhang's appearance and hearing what Steward Zhang said, he felt that it would be good if it was just a dream. The Zhang family was indeed worthy of their reputation. Steward Zhang was not calm at this time. The young master was indeed the young master. He was as calm as a mountain and as swift as thunder. With the young master in charge, the two Zhuangzi didn't seem to have to worry about anything. They just had to go forward. No matter if they got into trouble or were wronged, they didn't have to be afraid. They would be safe when they returned home. Finally, Steward Chen lowered his head and said, "Steward Zhang, I have offended you 2 days ago. Please be magnanimous and treat it as a dream. What do you think we should do?" "Dream? It's fine if it's a dream. Life is a dream. When you wake up, no matter what happens, the sky is still the sky, the earth is still the earth, and people are still people. The water still can't be changed." Steward Zhang wouldn't let go of the water just because of Steward Chen's words. The water level was not enough for boats to sail here in the future. Chen Gingxin came here with a group of people to tear down the dam. Seeing that the Zhang family had 5 times more people than them, and some of them were holding crossbows, he had no choice but to suppress his thoughts. Seeing that the steward couldn't do it, he had to stand up and say to Steward Zhang, "You must be Steward Zhang. Good idea. But the river doesn't seem to belong to the Wang and Ge families, right? If it's like this, the families who live on both sides of the Yellow River can change the river's course at will. The Chen family's road can belong to Zhuangzi. Why can't the Wang and Ge family's river belong to them?" This was Sanshui County. If the head of the Chen family was not convinced, he could go to the Yamen to complain. There were more than 700 Yamen runners in Sanshui County. Perhaps they would act impartially and arrest the Wang and Ge families. Or Lord Chen could write a memorial to accuse my master of bullying the people and taking advantage of the water. My master is currently in the capital, and he might be arrested. Not to mention the imperial examinations, he might even be thrown into prison in Chang'an. Oh, I forgot, Lord Chen is not an official, so he can't submit a memorial to the higher-ups. How about this? Master Chen will personally head to the capital and report to County Magistrate Pei. If you feel that there is no way to find your way, you can look for the registrar, who is County Magistrate Cheng of Sanshui County. Steward Zhang was naturally not afraid of whose family the river belonged to. If the Chen family had the ability to take over the river, then why couldn't the Zhang family do the same? Chen Gingxin also thought of this. Even if he spent money to get someone to investigate, they would definitely find out that his house was blocking the road. Thinking of this, he took a few steps forward and came to the housekeeper's side. Before anyone could react, he slapped Housekeeper Chen's face. "It's all your fault. You took advantage of the fact that I didn't care about family matters to privately block the river and block the road. Wait and see how I deal with you when we get back." After slapping Housekeeper Chen Gingxin turned to Steward Zhang and said, Steward Zhang, it's my fault for not being strict enough. If I have offended you in any way, please forgive me, Steward Zhang. This water? Lord Chun, the water has been diverted, and it can't be diverted back. Lord Chun is a noble, and usually you don't have time to care about this kind of thing. It's better to let nature take its course. Steward Zhang felt sorry for Housekeeper Chun. Look, Housekeeper Chun took advantage of the situation, but when something happened, he was used as a punching bag. It was not easy being a housekeeper. Chun Gingxin thought that a slap would be enough, but he didn't expect the Zhang family to be so difficult to deal with. He hesitated and finally said, "Is the Zhang family's wife here? I have some cloth business to discuss with the Zhang family." The Zhang family also has a cloth business in the capital, right? I don't have the final say in this business. There are other bigger cloth businesses. I can take this opportunity to introduce them to Mrs. Zhang. The water is not urgent. Steward Zhang understood as soon as he heard this. No wonder Chen Gengxin dared to lay hands on the Zhang family. It turned out that there was a person in the cloth business who was related to him. Saying this was a threat. Steward Zhang was about to tell this matter to the little child, but he suddenly remembered that the little child said that he would take care of the Chen family's business alone. In this case, he couldn't ask the little child for help. He thought about it and said, "Lord Chun, you don't know. The business of the shops in the capital has been bad, and they are preparing to close. The business of the restaurant is not bad. Does Lord Chun have the help of those who run the restaurant? Then I will go back and discuss with Mrs. Zhang. I can't help with other things." Chen Gingxin didn't expect the Zhang family to be so stubborn. They would rather close the business than go easy on him. He frowned and thought about it, not knowing what to do. Steward Chun, who had been slapped, finally couldn't help but stand up and say, "You Zhang family shouldn't go too far. Your family head is going to the capital to take the imperial exam. Even if the Chen family has to go bankrupt, we won't let him pass. Who is so powerful? To be able to take care of the imperial court's imperial exam, let me see. You must be very capable. In this case, doesn't it mean that whoever your Chen family wants to be the top scorer will be the top scorer? This marquis doesn't know who the examiner is. Could it be that you already know? Tell me, let this marquis take a look." Li Xin came over and happened to hear Steward Chen's words. He asked with a sullen face, Just kidding. Little prince, don't take it seriously. There is something wrong with Steward Chen's head. He often says the wrong things." Chen Gingxin quickly explained. At the same time, he glared at the steward. Didn't he know to look at the people around him when he spoke? Li Xin turned around and looked at the head of the Chen family. He said, "I think there is something wrong with your head. Otherwise, why would you use this kind of steward? Why would you dare to have any ideas about the Zhang family? There are people from the cloth trade. Amazing. I wonder how much that cloth trade can help you?" Yes, little prince is right. There is something wrong with his head. The cloth trade is just a business. There is no such thing as helping or not helping. Steward Chen didn't dare to say anything about the cloth trade. His status there wasn't high. This was a critical time for the imperial exam. How could the cloth trade's people offend the marquis for him? In that case, what are you still doing here? It's just the river changing its course. Which river hasn't changed its course? Don't make a fuss. Go back first. I will think of a solution with you. Li Sun casually talked about the change of the river. He waved his hand and coaxed these people as if they were flies. The head of the Chen family revealed a wry smile. He didn't dare to stay any longer. He said goodbye to Li Sun while leading his people back. After the Chen family left, Steward Zhang immediately came over and asked Li Sun, "Little prince, why are you here? Is it okay if I don't come? The water on Zhuangzi has been cut off. I have to come and see where to get water. This year, the Li family is planting rice all over Zhuangzi. I want the seeds from your family." Of course, Li Sun didn't want to tear down the dam. He planned to come here and see where he could dig a small hole. He would find someone to make a ditch. Steward Zhang had an idea. When he heard Li Sun's words, he said, "Little prince, there is no need to get water from here. There is a small river in front of our house. It has less water than here, But it is enough for the Li family's Zhuangzi. As long as it rains, there will be more water. Looking at the sky, it seems that there will be rain in a few days. Little prince, why don't you dig a river over there? The Zhang family and Wang family still have water from the pond and well. It will be troublesome to make a hole here. That's good. I can also help the Chen family. The Chen family has more than 3,000 mu of land. It's not easy. Li Sun thought for a while and said. Steward Zhang was stunned. Little prince, you want to help the Chen family? Of course this marquis won't take sides at this time. This marquis cares for the people of the world. I will help, I must help. We can't lack water during the spring plowing. 5 strings of money a day. No, that's too much. 200 copper coins per mu. We will split it 50-50 with each family. 200 strings of money, 100 copper coins per family. It will be the same every year. We can't ask for too much. 1 mu can produce about 3 dan, which is only a few hundred copper coins. If we take out 200 copper coins, we won't have much left. But we can't give water for free, right? Li Sun was calculating. If he wanted to charge 200 copper coins for 1 mu of water, then the Chen family would have to plant rice as well. Rice was more expensive, but if they planted other crops, they would suffer a loss. They did not use much water, and the grains they produced would not be worth more than 400 copper coins per mu of water. When Steward Zhang heard this, he was dumbfounded. There was a limit to the rent that the villagers paid. Even if the main family wanted more, they couldn't ask for too much. Otherwise, the villagers would starve to death. According to this amount of money, the Chen family would have to pay 60 to 70 copper coins per mu if they collected rent from the villagers normally. If they asked for more, they would have to pay 30 to 40 copper coins. If they didn't want to pay, then the farmers didn't need to live anymore. Unless they could produce the same amount of rice as the Zhang family and Wang family's Zhuangzi, averaging 4 dan per mu. If they wanted to make a fortune from farming, then it was impossible. Especially Li Sun's last sentence. It was the same every year. In other words, the Chen clan was losing money every year. As long as they still wanted the manor, they could forget about earning money. At most, they could just keep some food at home in case of emergency. Little prince, aren't you asking for too much? If they add this money to the farmers, then they won't be able to survive. Steward Zhang reminded him in a low voice. It's good that they don't want to work. My family is short of people. This marquis cares for the common people of the world, so I can find a way for them to live. It's also fine if it's cheaper. 100 copper coins per mu, or 50 copper coins. This marquis also wants to open a cloth shop in the capital. It just so happens that they have a cloth shop. This marquis cares for the common people of the world, so I can help them sell some. Li Sun was thinking about the cloth shop. He was now helping the Zhang family, and wanted to stand up for this matter. Chapter 289. The spring plowing finally began vigorously. At this time, one could see the strength of each family in Zhuangzi. Whichever family had more livestock, that family was definitely not ordinary. The Zhang family and Wang family mobilized more than 500 cattle to work in the fields. Some of the fields were directly filled with rice straws, so there was no need to plow at all. They only needed to add fertilizer, and some of the fields had to be plowed several times. Beside the fields were the people sent by the main family to help with the cooking. Before the farmers went to work, they all drank a mouthful of wine. Those who drank more than 50 degrees only drank a mouthful, and did not dare to drink too much. The Gu family also got nearly 30 cattle in Zhuangzi. This year, the farmers of the Gu family wanted to compete with the Zhang family and Wang family. In the past, they could say that the tools were not good, there were not enough cattle, and their bodies could not compare. This year, there was no other reason. Guangxi gave them all that he could. If it was like last year, they fell behind by a large margin. Without the main family being angry, the farmers themselves would be sullen to death. Li Sun also thought of ways to get some livestock. He could not find too many cattle. The Zhang family and Wang family had never stopped buying and breeding cattle. The older calves were almost 2 years old and could do some work. However, Li Sun had other ideas. He got a group of horses. There were more than 300 horses. These horses were not good enough to be used as military horses, but they were better horses to pull carriages. If they were used to plow the fields, everyone who saw them would feel distressed. The horses were faster than the cattle, but they did not have as much stamina. Taking turns, they were not slower than the Zhang family and Wang family. In the end, the Chen family accepted Li Sun's idea. They spent 50 copper coins to buy water for 1 mu of land. In the future, they would also provide all kinds of silk cloth for evaluation to Li Sun and Zhang Jiazhuangzi. Housekeeper Chen was no longer a housekeeper. When he returned home that day, he was severely beaten. Chen Gingxin pushed all the blame onto housekeeper Chen. Even if his concubine pleaded for him, it was useless. This time he miscalculated. He thought that the little prince would not help the Zhang family with such great fanfare. He thought that he could contend with the Zhang family by relying on the cloth trade behind him. In the end, he realized that the Zhang family was still the same Zhang family that no one could take advantage of. He could only suppress this anger in his heart and wait for an opportunity to take revenge. Now it was impossible. The people in the cloth trade were also promoting some people to take the imperial examinations. As long as these people became officials, it would be very beneficial to the cloth trade. They really did not have the leisure to care about other things. If there was no imperial examinations, it was not a big deal to provoke a marquis. In the future, they would not do anything in other people's fief. But now they did not dare. Who knew what kind of effect a marquis would have in the imperial examinations? In the capital, County Magistrate Cheng had a good time these days. It was spring plowing and everyone used a curved plow. Every time this happened, they would think of County Magistrate Cheng, who made this plow. It was said that the emperor had mentioned him in person. The other officials immediately began to curry favor with County Magistrate Cheng. County Magistrate Cheng took this opportunity to start a big banquet. Usually he went to 2 big markets, the East Market and the West Market. The places he chose were naturally the Zhuangzi's Embrace and the Success House. Every time he would bring Father Zhang and introduce the people who would attend the banquet to him. The status of these people was not too high, but there were too many people. The officials below the 4th rank kept coming, but the higher-ranking officials did not come. Some of them received a letter from Minister Bai, who had not decided whether to resign or not. And some of them received a letter from the little prince. They were all waiting there. There was still a month to go before the imperial examination in spring. They were not in a hurry now. They were waiting for others to work, and then they could work according to the situation. On this day, Li Sun found Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were thinking about a new plow. For example, they wanted to shorten the shaft a little, increase the curvature a little, and change some parts to iron. This way, it would be slightly more convenient, flexible, and durable. The head of the curved plow used by the rich was iron, while the poor could only use wood. Naturally, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan used iron. Make some texture at the place where the hand is holding. It will be more comfortable to hold it, just like the handlebars of a bicycle. Wang Wan drew on a drawing and said. She and Zhang Xiaobao didn't know what the best plow would be like in the future, and they couldn't remember it either. Usually, they didn't care much about it, but they would ask the villagers if there was anything that made them uncomfortable when they used it. The villagers would tell the 2 of them what they were dissatisfied with. The handlebars looked simple, but the hands of those who worked would inevitably be stained with mud. When they held the handlebars, there would be some sand between their hands and the handlebars, which was uncomfortable. To solve this problem, they could wear gloves, but they would not feel good, so there were no thin gloves. They also could not put a basin of water at the side and wash it from time to time. The 2 of them thought about it and decided to carve texture on the handlebars. If there was sand on their hands, it would fall off after a few rubs. It could also increase the friction. As for the length and degree of curvature of the shaft arm, it was also changed according to the suggestions of the villagers. When plowing, it was impossible to maintain a good straight distance with the hand holding the plow. When walking in front, because the place where the force was applied was different, it would deviate and need to be adjusted. This was also a laborious work. During the adjustment process, they would press down on the handlebars and let the weighway in front of them lift up. The longer the position in front of the fulcrum, the longer the resistance arm would be. If the resistance arm was shortened alone, the direct force of the force at the back of the fulcrum would be greater, and the bending could be reduced. As for the replacement of parts in some places with iron, it was because the plow was not always spoilt. When plowing on the ground, the wear and tear was relatively large. Often after plowing they had to stop and change a part. When the soil was slightly bigger or hardened, they had to change more often. Every time they changed, they would waste some time. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan did not care about the consumption of time. What they cared about was the speed of plowing. They had to be faster than the Gu family and the Li family next to them. The villagers always had to be first to be more confident. While the two of them were discussing how to take advantage of the time to change, Li Sun came in. No one stopped him from entering and leaving the place where the two of them were. As soon as he came in, he saw Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan with their heads together, muttering and drawing. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan also heard the sound. When they looked back, they saw that it was Li Sun. Zhang Xiaobao hurriedly greeted. "Young Master Li, how come you have the leisure to come here?" Li Sun did not speak directly. Instead, he walked a few steps to the table and looked at the drawing on it. Then he looked at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan and said, "Good for you guys. I helped you guys in vain. Now that you have something good, you don't want to give it to me to use. Others say that the curved plow was made by Cheng Anren. I don't believe it." Sure enough. At this point, Li Sun paused and put on an apologetic look. She then looked at another picture and asked with a frown, "What is this?" "Shoes. Can these shoes be worn?" The other drawing did indeed show a pair of shoes, but they were made of wood. This was not a big deal, as most people who could not afford to wear leather boots did so. However, the front of the shoes was carved out of a whole piece of wood, a space big enough for 5 toes to fit in. Li Sun could not figure out what the two of them were going to do with such a useless piece of wood. Zhang Xiaobao pulled the drawing over and explained it to Li Sun. "My family and the Wang family have some broken stones in the fields. If you go in barefoot like other people, your feet will be finished. Wearing these shoes is much better. You don't have to worry about being scratched. Because in the mud, if there is wood in front, you won't get stuck in the mud." Li Sun finally understood. "Yes, you Zhuangzi people care about the farmers. You don't care about wasting wood. Then what's the matter with this plow? It doesn't seem to be any different from the current one." Li Sun pointed at the drawing of the plow and asked. This drawing only changed the proportions of some places. There was also a grid drawn on the handrail. If one did not look carefully and was not familiar with this aspect, one would not be able to tell the difference at all. This is just a drawing for fun. I want to see if it can be more useful. First, I will make a batch for my own use. Then I will tell others. Just tell this to Registrar Zhao. Sanshui County cannot always be without a county magistrate. Registrar Zhao has always been in charge of it. Since he can manage it, why not let him be the county magistrate? Zhang Xiaobao also had plans for this. Although it was only a small improvement, if it could increase the efficiency by 10%, then they might be able to plow more during the entire spring. The first plow was to turn over the soil. Later on, it was to let the fertilizer mix better with the soil. Li Sun looked at the drawing carefully again, and did not see any difference. His interest was also reduced. "Oh, then you guys can try it first. If it is useful, I will make some changes to the one in Zhuangzi." After saying this, Li Sun said again, "The school has started to be built. They asked me to find more people to join us. I am just thinking about who to find." "So anxious? Fine, young Master Li, you can find people to join us, but you can't take out the money now and let them continue to invest. Then, according to our agreement, are the documents of the 3 workshops and the 3 schools under our management, and not under their management?" Based on Li Sun's words, Zhang Xiaobao knew that those people had no money. The workshop had been doing odd jobs, but they had not sold anything. Because the workers' skills were not good enough, they could only break even. However, the craftsmen had to be paid, their meals had to be paid, and the apprentices had to be paid as well. It seemed that each person did not have much money, but there were many people. They said that they did not have 90,000 strings of coins, but they did not have that much money. A few days ago, they took out another 10,000 strings of coins. Those people did not have much money. If they did not find more people to join them, they would collapse. The dock had not been built yet, and only a site had been marked out. Yes, that's how it was signed. When they signed, they were not willing. Later, I used my status as a marquee to pressure them. I also said that after the dock was built, it would be theirs. So, who do you think I should find? How many people should I find? Li Sun mentioned the matter of the document. He seemed to feel that it was not good to use his status to pressure them. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.